we're good.
Be like, bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin' With The Boys. It is Tuesday, episode 351. Two immaculate guests we have today, but Bussin' With The Boys is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Look, another week of NFL means another chance to win FanDuel's Thursday Night Football touchdown jackpot. We drop our touchdown jackpot picks. We load up some spicy Bussin' With The Boys special bets in the FanDuel app. If you're wondering what that is, you go to NFL, you slide over, you hit a little BWTB tab. Boom, we'll have a bunch of parlays sitting there waiting for you. We live stream with the whole crew. We'll have SGPs ready for you guys to tail, and we do it all on Thursdays, and you guys get to get in the action with us. 3 easy steps. Open up the FanDuel Sportsbook app and opt into the promo. Place an anytime touchdown score bet on the game. Watch the game. If your player scores either the first or the last touchdown, you'll win your bet and a share of $2 million jackpot. Just hit the FanDuel.com. Just hit FanDuel.com/Bussin' and download the app to get started. Big guest today, Drew Brees, Zack Baun. We'll get to those in a minute.
Former teammate
of yours.
Drew Brees, yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about your time with Drew Brees.
We rocked for we had a strong 10 days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple times after practice, I go and try to make some conversation with him. He's taking some business calls. I was like, well, I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
We'll talk shop later.
But the effort was put in there.
Yeah. Effort was put in there.
Quality over quantity.
We enjoyed a couple hot tub moments. I had one with him and Taysom. I'm thinking, Drew Brees and Taysom Hill.
You're in there.
Yeah, got a couple laughs. One of the days they were talking about, or we were talking about how Taysom Hill could squat like over 600 pounds, which is
Did you see it?
Insane. I haven't got to see it because we were in training camp. You know what
grinding.
I mean?
Boys were grinding.
This is back into training camp too. But everybody was talking about how Taysom Hill could squat over 600 pounds, and I'm sitting there like, that is insane for him. All the positions he plays, JP said it, maybe the greatest athlete, maybe the greatest football player, pure football player of all time. But to squat over 600 pounds is ridiculous.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And this is the origin story. These 10 days is when your back started, correct?
No, my back started
Raiders.
So that was later that year.
Okay.
That was later that year.
So you're sitting there at the time thinking, man, I should put some weight on my back too. Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
if he can do 600, I can at least do 300.
Yeah, I could get 300 at that time.
Easy.
Maybe 4. Yeah, I could get 4 at that time.
If you were going and you did a full warm-up, core engaged, the whole thing Dobson would do with the legs, how much do you think you could squat today?
Right now?
Today.
Oh, I wouldn't.
No, okay. Hypothetical,
that's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
to
I wouldn't, like I couldn't.
Yeah, because your back would be fucked up the next day. I'm saying like totally warmed up, hypothetical. What can your legs handle today?
135.
Once? 10 times?
Yeah, bro. My back hurts when there's a bar on my back. Like it doesn't matter how warmed up I get.
Right.
There is pain in my low back when there's a bar on my shoulders.
Okay, I'm sorry for asking the question.
You kept trying to reword it like I'm just super
yeah, I'm
warmed
just
up.
saying
Like,
maybe
hey,
we're
no
in a
matter
hypothetical
what,
different world
it
type of thing.
It hurts. I'm a goblet squatter. I hold a dumbbell in front of my chest.
Hell yeah. And
About 70 pounds.
Oh, so you big dog stuff.
Yeah, some would. Yeah, some could say big dog. Some could say like, man, he's really fell off. Because at Nebraska, I was over 500. I was an over 500 guy.
Now we are shooting the Bussin' With The Boys episode before their weekend recap, so we're not really into the whole Nebraska thing. We haven't got your thoughts on it. Should we wait?
No, it's just
the weekend recap. We're going to wait for the weekend recap.
People out here that are listening right now, obviously my weekend kicked off with the Nebraska L on Friday night. You can check all that stuff out. We covered it on the football recap show that came out yesterday. We talk all things football on the recap show that drops on Mondays. We're here for some more fun, get some good interviews, talk some spooky stuff, catch up on the old Chad Powers, maybe some Shoutout No Free Shoutout, some pet peeves. People's been begging for those segments to come back. The TierTalk we have going on. But yeah, let's start off. Let's go ahead and start. You want to start with my weekend, your weekend?
Whatever, go ahead. You're already talking.
Listen, we all saw what happened Friday night. We talked about that yesterday.
And we're going to talk about it again.
And here we go again.
We ain't got to talk about it. We're all eyes on Northwestern.
And we'll say this too, could be a positive. Long term for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm thinking about Northwestern.
Got you. So for us, on this bus that's not thinking about Northwestern, could be a positive. But tell me about the weekend, dude. Vandy game. Family
Great.
game.
It was a great weekend. Weird, fun, great, all mixed together. Saturday we went to myself, Charo, and Rue. We went to the Vandy game. We went to the Fall Don't Lie tour with Josh Pate. They were out there at Vanderbilt for Vandy LSU. And I told you guys, I said this yesterday, but I've been telling everybody that LSU is a bunch of frauds. And we got to see it in person. We got to see it in real time. Cade McConnell, that clip of Cade McConnell going around where he body bags a couple guys. But we had a lot of fun. Got to meet Josh Pate's wife, Savannah, just a wonderful person. Had a lot of fun. Rue, she's still out on mascots, doesn't fuck with them. The tiger tried coming up and messing with her. I'm like, hey, her favorite little stuffed animal is a Tigey. She calls him Tigey, and I'm like, hey, Tiger, there's Tigey's big brother right there. Like he wants a high five and stuff like that. And Rue just stone face, just slowly looks over at me like, Dad, what am I supposed to do here? I'm like, hey, she ain't about it. She ain't about she's not about the mascot situation. Yeah. You want to give him a high five? You know how you're like demonstrating it in front of her, like, hey, he's good people.
She's not having it.
Wasn't about it.
And that is 100% my kid's fault that your child has that fear.
Yeah.
The mask.
She's scared of masks. She's scared of mascots. Like anything that's a little too big or demonstrative, she's not about it.
Fair enough.
Michael Myers is really what tipped her over sideways on finding that mask back in the closet. And then, wind just popping up in front of her face with the mask on.
How to Train Your Dragon mask.
Yeah.
Just gets in her face and starts pushing it around. And
Yeah.
it's like, it was over. It was over from that moment. And Will and I are sitting in bean bags. I'm just like, gotta feel guilty. My child just ruined your child.
Ain't nothing you can do about that one.
Tough,
That's just
tough,
kids
tough.
being kids.
Right. Wynn's done it to her sister. She kind of just takes it in. We're all about the spookiness in this household, but go ahead. Keep going.
We had a great day at Vanderbilt. Shout out to staff at Vanderbilt. They did a great job hosting us. We had awesome seats. We had some pregame field passes. Sunday, Bill Compton is now married. My dad got married. So we made a trip out there. Saturday night, we had a stream. This was on Sunday. Saturday night, we had a stream, Tennessee, Alabama. I'm sure we'll get into that once we get the boys involved. But Sunday flew out. Old man got married. So got to go out there to old Farmington, Bonne Terre, Missouri, see some friendly faces, some familiar faces. And then we flew back. Rue puked on the plane. That was abysmal. I'm talking Team America exorcism style.
Oh,
puking.
no shit.
I almost started puking.
It smelled.
Yeah, it was she was like leaned back and then she puked on herself and we're like, Rue, it's okay. And then she just starts puking in the middle and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Charles trying to say, it's all right, sweetheart. I'm going, oh my God.
This is couples retreat when Vince Vaughn's with his kid and he poops in the toilet and he goes, we don't got to say nothing to the flight attendant. We know this was a bad deal.
Yeah, this one smells everywhere. It's brutal. Fly back that day and then take the wife. We go to a Dermot Kennedy concert. Any Dermot Kennedy fans on this bus?
I know of him.
Great artist.
Oh, hang on. I'm pretty sure one of the first times we met, you were like, of course, you were trying to clown on me. And you were playing your music. You were like, I bet this is the type of shit you like. And you turned on Dermot Kennedy.
He stays on the playlist.
He's good.
Charo's obsessed with Dermot Kennedy. I've always liked Dermot, and getting to watch him in person, it was all time. Very powerful voice at the Ryman.
Nice.
He started to do some, where they'll like take the mic away and he's just singing to the crowd. Like both of the artists, the guy who covered for him halfway, or not the guy who went out, who opened for him, not covered for him, opened for him. Both of them did like the acoustic version where they're singing to the crowd, very intimate. It was awesome. He's awesome. Dermot Kennedy was awesome. And so, very jam-packed weekend, very fun weekend. All in all, 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. My weekend, phenomenal. Obviously, we do the stream Thursday night, wake up real early. Last year, before the Northwestern game, I took Wynn to a Michigan game, her first Michigan game. We did the whole thing. Like it's a true brainwashing experience when you do it with your children, because it's like You land, there's no no's on the weekend. It's, you want candy? Go ahead. Yes. We go to Benny's. Benny's there. He's like Albanian or something, but he's all about letting the kids do. He's like got the kids in the back room, like making their own pancakes, making their own hot chocolate. He's just bringing out food over and over again. He's bringing out like shots of like scotch that he's got in the back. It's like, this is a diner, Denny. Like, Benny, what are we doing? So the same thing takes place this weekend. Willow is juiced up like 5-6 days before. I'm showing her all the things we're going to do. I'm pulling up photos of the M Den. I'm pulling up photos of the Diag, all the like the central campus area. And she's like, can't sleep 2 nights before, can't sleep the night before. We get on the plane. She's fired up, just me and her. And we land. Dave was essentially our chauffeur for the entire weekend. We go, and the first place we go to is Benny's. Get right there. You guys all been there. We go around the corner.
Great spot. Shout out, Benny.
Yeah. Sit in that back booth. Benny's got Willow making her own hot chocolate. He brings out pancakes, brings out hot dogs, brings out this little cheese plate that he sets on fire in front of Willow like it's a 5-star Michelin star restaurant. And it was awesome. Willow stuffs her face. Then we go to the M Den, and Willow was, when I'm looking at showing her the M Den photos earlier in the week, she sees a cheerleading outfit and she is gassed up on the cheerleading outfit. She wants it. She needs it as bad as she wants to breathe. So we get there. They don't have her size. And it's like, we've gotten the stuffed animals. We got Mama mug. We got Sissy a mug. We got keychains. We got the whole thing. Like, everything's Michigan Wolverine. But if we don't get this fucking cheerleading outfit, essentially this weekend is ruined. We go in the back. Some guy helps us out. We sift through. We find the 7 and 8. We get this onesie dress thing that is like the cheerleading outfit. She is over the moon immediately. As soon as we buy it, can I wear it? Can I wear it? It's like, let's just wait till tomorrow, because it was kind of chilly. And I'm thinking, I don't think Willow's going to be able to wear this during the game and not be freezing. Turns out it was 75 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful. After that, Pat Collins, friend of us, we go to his house, do s'mores. We do a little bonfire. We got spooky stuff everywhere. We got seasonal beverages. Very nice, intimate, like spooky. His wife, both kids, Willow. It was awesome. Bags of candy. And then the next day, get the outfit on. I'm looking at the weather. It's like, all right, it's going to be good. Willow does not care about watching the football game at all. Could not care less. We're on the sideline. She's asking me, where are the cheerleaders? Like, when are the cheerleaders going to be here?
Got to go get the flake.
Yeah. And so we got a bunch of photos. First cheerleaders pop up. I'm like, guys, can you please take a photo with my daughter? They give her the pom-poms. They're very sweet to her. Willow is grinning ear to ear on it. And as we're going around to get our seats, some staffer, because Willow's under 18, obviously, like, hey, she can't be down here if she's under 18. So we need to get her seats. While we're going there, staffer sees some more cheerleaders. Willow's like, we're not going anywhere till I get photos with these guys as well. Get the photo done. Get up in the stands. We end up sitting in like Gen Pop area, which is, the view is nice because we're like 25 rows back, so I can see the whole field. I can see what kind of personnel we're in. I'm like dialed in. Problem is, a lot of people want to get photos, want to talk about anything other than Michigan football.
Really?
That's going on. Anything else.
With Willow there?
With Willow there. They're trying to get photos. I'm like, all right, Willow, you go stand by Grandpa for a second.
You
Smile.
think people would like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of be like, hey, just quick photo.
I agree.
Respect what you do.
And
I know you're with your daughter.
80% of the people were very aware of, well, hey, I know you're with your family. You mind if I get a quick photo? And I get the quick photo. They're like, so, man, ESPN, huh? I'm like, yeah, man, it's sick. We have a lot of fun. And we go to the next person. So, man, how's Will doing? Is he dead? It's like, I think he's going to be all right. I texted him last night. He didn't text me back, but I know he's sad right now, you know? So, like, those are the conversations taking place. Then it's like I'm sitting in these stands and I'm trying to watch a football game. Willow wants a pretzel. Great, we'll get a pretzel. Willow wants popcorn. Grandpa will take you to get some popcorn. Like, you guys will dial it in. Finally, I sit there and I take my phone. I'm like, you want to look at Daddy's photos on his camera? And I had to put the phone on her so I could watch the game, looking back at this older couple. I'm like, this is great parenting. Am I right? They're like, any way to get it done. And we watched the game. The first half, I mean, we broke it all down in the weekend recap, but overall 4.5, man. Sunday.
4.5.
Yeah. Sunday I get home. We get home Saturday night. We do the stream. Sunday, Taylor has, for Nature and Nurture, she has like this farmer's market and she takes the kids, does like, you know, child labor laws. We probably get CNS called on us. She has them dishing out seeds to everybody, and the kids sold like $200 in seeds. Hey. So yeah,
the Amish do it. You're good.
Taylor texted me. She's like, I just told the kids to take these seeds and ask people to buy them. and it worked. Sold out of the seeds. So shout out Talon and her business savviness.
Yeah, we're not really selling any seeds. You know what? We got to activate the kiddos.
Right.
Sweetheart,
Activate
get
them.
out there. Go ask adults to buy them. They
Yeah.
won't say no to you.
Dude, when I was 8, my mom used to work at this place called Harold's in Cave Creek, and she wanted to teach me the value of $1. So I busboyed with her for a day, made like $200 in that day. Just sat there and talked to the older people. So in the middle of winter, so all the snowbirds were there. Didn't understand the value. After that, I was like, money's easy. Money's a joke, dude. This is the easiest thing in the world to get. 8 years old, my mom's like, God damn it. But yeah, man, awesome weekend. Next weekend, first time ever, kids are going to Disney World.
That'll be fun.
Going to Disney World next
During
Friday.
spooky season?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing we did we got the tour guide for at the Pro Bowl, where it's like you get to hop. There's like the fast pass above the fast pass that's above the fast pass thing. Ooh. And then we got Mickey Mouse's Not So Spooky Halloween. I'm so excited. I might be more excited than them. They don't understand what they're about to see. It's going to be awesome. So action-packed Spooktober.
Core memory weekend loading.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. 2 for Willow in a row.
Yeah.
We're getting on the plane to go back. She's like, when can we come back to Michigan? And then she kept saying this bullshit to me. She's like, it's a miracle Michigan won. Like, what do you mean? She's like, I just can't believe we won. I'm like, all right, Willow. But we get home and Win wanted to rewatch the game, the highlights, so we put it up on the YouTube TV. Like, kids are dialed right now.
That's awesome.
We're definitely brainwashing the shit out of them right now. It's going exactly how we want, sure. It's going exactly how we want. So
I might have to make, until the opportunity comes, like Rude now has been 2 years in a row to Vandy games, Vandy dubs. Wait, was it a dub last year against Texas?
A close loss.
Close loss, that's right.
Competitive ball games in Vandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia, her favorite player. Cade McConnell.
Maybe, yeah. Cade McConnell for sure. Cade, I hated it. I know he listens to all of our stuff, so I know he's listening right now. But we were bummed we didn't get a flick. Well, I was in on the end zone side, but it was LSU, and we kind of got there 15 minutes before the game. Cade was hitting me up after. He's like, bro, I looked everywhere, and I couldn't find you. And I kind of told him, he said, they told me you were going to be on the newly renovated end. I was like, no, I was on the OG end. He's like, I probably looked like an insane person going around. He's like, after we won the game or we like scored a touchdown, he's like, I'm going up and looking around everywhere to see if I can find you because I knew you were bringing the fam.
Damn.
I know. I said, don't worry, we'll come to another game, bro.
We got to get
Lied
Cade.
to his face.
Well, about what?
Going to another game.
Well, we could probably make another game. They got a couple. They got some more.
They got game day.
This weekend. One of my best friends, Brad LeBron, you guys know the biscuit. He's getting married. Yeah, shout out Brad, but also,
yeah.
football season wedding, and it's on Sunday, and it's in New York.
What?
Yes, bro. Listen, it's his day. They should be selfish, but what a selfish prick move, dude.
I feel like you've been screwed on a lot of Sunday weddings. since I
Yes,
know
bro.
you.
I mean, this will be 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I kind of tell my old man, like, hey, listen, I get it, but you, I ain't want to come to this.
On a Sunday?
Yeah, on a Sunday. I'm missing some football right now, dude.
I know, and everyone's always talks about the weather. It's like spring has the same thing. They got the same weather
Fall
going on.
is super nice. It's just, and the Missouri one didn't bother me as much because it's close. But New York, when you're from Missouri, I guess she's out from the Northeast. But Jesus, why are we doing it out in New York? And they got married, they got engaged and stuff not too long ago. Like they put it together fast.
Brad LeBron having himself a wedding in Salem, New York.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. Love Brad.
Love
Great
Brad.
guy.
Love the biscuit.
He
One of the
shot
best.
me a text. Would love if you came. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to be able to make it. Disney World. Disney World.
Disney World.
Will and I sat in the plane. And I was like, I kind of feel bad. I'm not going to make it. He's like, you ain't got to go. And he's like pissed off about it. You ain't got to go. That's like one of my best friends. I have to go. Selfish of Brad.
Well, it was more. Yeah, I did say that, but I'm also thinking like, yeah, in your situation, I wouldn't go.
I do love Brad though, and I know that like, I know Brad's personality, and so like I know that the next time I see Brad, he's gonna say something the next time and the next time and the next time, and it'll follow me for a few years.
Yeah, 100%.
And I just think like, yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with those bullets because my family and I were gonna go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Great guy. I'll get him a gift. I probably won't get him a gift, but I'll text him, hey, congratulations on your marriage. Yeah. That's amazing.
Should we get into tier talk? Do we want shout outs, pet peeves? Where do we want to go?
Let's bring back shout out real quick.
Shout out, no free shout out.
Yeah. Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Shout out, no free shout out, Pilot Bob. Shout out, no free shout out, pilots that you think no matter what happens, I'm safe. The pilot we had from BNA to Teterboro, thank you Flyhouse and JJ at Flyhouse. This guy gets on, he's older, he's probably in his 70s?
Yeah.
He's got over 30,000
Maybe
hours
80s.
of flying. I think he was in Vietnam.
2 tours in Vietnam, 4 tours in Afghanistan.
Boom. And he's just
Generational flight family.
talks to us. He's one of those calm, stoic, like, older gentlemen that just like make you feel safe no matter what. Yeah. We get done, we fly in at Teterboro. It goes a little windy out there, but now the risky part happens. You guys have to drive. Like, he just knows, like, flying. It does not matter what happens on that airplane. He's going to take care of business. When we get back, dude, he's like, hey, glad to have you guys back. He starts showing me his mother was a World War II pilot. She was one of the only women World War II pilots who would take bombs and try to take out submarines and fly like really low. She's like, this is the only woman pilot to do this. Like Medal of Honor type stuff. Like, what? This is as we're getting on the flight to come back to Nashville. And so you sit there, and I always usually fall asleep on flights anyway, but there's always a piece of you that's like, what if? And then you're like, nah, I'm not going to go there, and you go to sleep. This was one of those things where I took the blanket, put it over my head, and knocked out for pretty much the entire flight.
You said he has 30,000 hours.
He said because I remember saying, you're an outlier 3 times over. And he's like, yeah.
That's over 3 years of life of.
Yeah, that's just
he gets
just
after
nuts.
in the air.
That's insane.
He loves being in the air.
But
You could tell when we're on ground. It's like you see someone with their sea legs. He's got air legs.
He's spent 3 years of his life in air, which
Isn't that crazy? Just
wild to
crazy.
think about.
Shoutout No Free Shoutout Gushers, man.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Got my hands on some red Gushers yesterday. I kind of saw them. I gave Rue a pack. That's actually, I think that's probably why she ended up throwing up. But I was like, hey, Rue, this is one of Dada's favorite snacks. Back in the day, we got you some Gushers. Go ahead and try out some of those. So shout out Gushers. Shout out No Free Shoutout.
Where'd you get your hands on some Gushers at this wedding? Were they
No, just on the plane. They had snacks on the plane.
And they had
some
Gushers?
Yeah.
What a plane.
Hey, shout out them guys.
What airline?
Shout out Flyhouse.
You flew Flyhouse?
Yeah.
God damn, that's beautiful.
The only way to make it, like, we had the stream on Saturday night. We don't have childcare, so we had to take the kids with us. If you're flying in from Nashville to St. Louis, that's an hour away from where the wedding would be. The flights didn't work on flying out the morning of without like a connecting flight.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to take both kids with you.
Right.
And we needed to get back for the Dermot Kennedy concert that we had booked forever. Charlie wanted to go to London in the summer. We just couldn't make it happen. She's actually going to London this week with Rue on a mother-daughter trip. They're going for like 5 days in London. They leave. We're recording on Monday. They leave tonight. But we were going to go to London and see Dermot Kennedy in London. And since we couldn't make that work, I'm looking on my phone to see if he comes through Nashville at all. Just so happens he was coming to the Ryman. At that point in the summer, he was coming to Ryman in October. I got those tickets. Wedding thing happened. Didn't want to break my wife's heart by being like, we can't go to Dermot Kennedy, because I was like, we will go to Dermot Kennedy if we don't go to London, because I was like trying not to go to London for 72 hours. I'm like, sweetheart, listen.
That is crazy to go somewhere for 72 hours. across the pond.
I'm like, I know it'd be fun. I'm just the two of us, yada yada. But like, come on, we can do something closer, so that way we get more time at said place.
Right.
Than spending half the time in the air.
That's 16 hours in the air.
So then when I was in that kind of pickle, just had to make it happen. Flyhouse. I hit up Clump. I was like, hey, can I get a couple quotes for like just a day trip in and out? Because, I'm going to the wedding. I'm pumped for my dad, but there's, Willie Boy's going through his own journey with this process and everything else. I want to get back so I can still go to the concert. Couldn't leave that night of because we had to stream Tennessee, Alabama. So kind of caught in a pickle. Problem solved.
Shout out Gushers.
Shout out Gushers.
Shout out Gushers.
Shout out Flyhouse.
That is how nice.
It was shaky because it was very windy yesterday. We were on a turboprop. Is that what it's called? Turboprop?
You were in a Beechcraft.
Yeah. So it was shaky. It was dicey.
Buddy,
Char was going down like a WebMD wormhole. Like she was looking up these pilots, the experience, and I'm like, sweet.
WebMD pilots is crazy.
Yeah.
What kind of disease do these pilots have?
But just going down that
GBT, I'm with you.
Going down that snake hole of like, what's the risk? And the 30-mile-an-hour winds because there were gusts yesterday. It was raining and gusts were happening in Nashville. A lot of wind and gusts in Missouri where we were going. She's like, "Do you feel confident?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel confident." We took a small little plane from here to South Bend to Notre Dame. Snow and everything. Snow and everything else.
Dude, I might have been the same time of year when I came to see you in Missouri a few years back. And I was on that flight, and
because that little airport, you have to take a small plane to land
you
in that
have
airport.
to take a small plane, and the dude on the way back, I'm getting thrown over here, but I'm the only guy on the plane. I'm like, this is exactly when people die.
Yeah.
This is on 100% when people go down.
Yeah.
No bags, just like, I gotta get back to Nashville. Because I'm still playing football at the time, and the dude looks back and gives me the thumbs up. I'm like, I guess we're straight.
And you look out the window, and it is moving. Like, as we're landing in Missouri, like, it's moving and going a little sideways to where I'm staying poised, but internally, I'm like, all right. Because Charles over there breathing, like, all this stuff. She's like, we're taking our entire family, and we're going to be on a small plane. She's getting super nervous. I'm like, we got only a couple options, sweetheart. Like, we're either on the plane and we all go. You can stay home. It doesn't bother me. And I can just go by myself. I know you're probably thinking in your head, well, what if you die? And then we're all, because I'm thinking we'll all go down as a family. At least we all go down as a family.
I was going to say that might be kind of a win, right?
Or
these kids are kind of young. That's really sad, but like both parents.
Yeah.
Why don't we all just take the drink together, drink the Kool-Aid together and just fucking get out of here,
Like, or we cancel it and we got to spend, 10, 12 hours in a car. And we're going to have to drive to the wedding, and we're missing Dermot Kennedy on the way home.
And that was the deciding factor for Charles.
I didn't have to
Charles was willing to risk death.
I didn't have to go there. I didn't have to lay out those options. Fortunately, it's like we got connected. I'm breaking stuff down. I'm like, hey, I'm telling you, we're going to be all right. But even right when we took off from Nashville, because it was raining, it was starting to rain pretty good, and the wind was going. Right when we took off, and the wheels got right off the ground, or that spot where it was just about to lift, it felt the jerk sideways.
Oh no!
And Charles got Scotty attached to her, and her eyes are just closed, and she's just breathing. Rue's going wee.
Yeah. It's so funny.
I'm just sitting back there.
These kids had no idea. When Willow and I took off, we flew Delta. When we took off to go to Detroit, I had the thing down. Everybody had their shades down or whatever, the window shades. And we're taking off, and Willow's like, "Are we gonna leave yet?" I'm like, "We're 30 minutes into the flight." I'm like, "Honey, we're in there." She goes, "Oh," right back on the iPad. I was like, "All right, hell yeah." Does Charles get scared flying?
No, she just gets. It's the whole family dynamic thing.
Yeah,
she'll get in her head about the family, and then the small plane, and then she sees the 2 years. She's like, they've only been, this pilot graduated in 2023. This one graduated in 2021. This is our very first flight.
They sent all the stuff. Will text me in the morning, and I just start feeling like shit instantly. Like, my morning was ruined because I'm worried for him, knowing that they're worried because it's a smaller plane. And then the guy texted. He's like, it might be a little bumpy when they take off. All I'm thinking is your wife sitting there closing her eyes like, damn it, dude.
Yeah.
So,
because it's her. It's like their first flight, and it's on the small plane and everything else. I'm like, this is gonna be easy.
This is gonna be
and
fun.
we're fucking. It's like Jurassic Park in the
when
air.
you get done though, it feels kind of dope, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
There's a piece of you that's kind of to survive something crazy just now. It is wild. You going fly house to Brad's wedding?
No, we're going. We fly out the early flight on Saturday morning.
Oh, nice. So you can get a full 24 hours there?
Yeah, so we can spend some time there.
That'd be nice. And it's just you and Charles going?
Yeah.
So Charles going today. We're filming on Monday. She's flying out to London, spending
Tonight.
5 days there. So she gets back Friday. And then she's going to get on a plane Saturday.
Yep.
That's rock star shit.
That really is.
That is rock star shit.
And a positive too about it being in the spot, because I know I bitched a lot about this wedding in New York and everything else. It is at Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. I said Salem. Dude, that does gas me up for you. You got to do something fun and spooky.
I know.
I mean, you just got to walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, where Sleepy Hollow was
Headless
filmed.
Horseman.
That's crazy.
You got to take a lot of send me some photos.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Just that. To some Spooktober stuff. Let's get some tier talk, dude. This one's from Tom at Tom Rynette. Hashtag tier talk. If the states of Michigan and Nebraska went to war with each other, who would win and why?
If the states of Michigan and Nebraska went to war?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the pop there? I would lean heavy Nebraska. Just the blue collar, the grit and spit, the farmers out there.
I'm going to go easy dub Michigan. Detroit. Yeah. Detroit, Flint, Like, and you talk about blue collar cats, like this go up to the UP. Like those people are survivors up there. Like that's basically Canada.
You're winning the arms race. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we're winning the arms race.
There's some
We got them
pockets.
outgunned and outmanned.
Yeah, there's some pockets now in
Yeah.
Omaha.
Some pockets.
Gotta watch out.
But like, it depends. And also, is this a neutral site? Like everyone just meets up in like Minnesota, and we go toes, or do we have to like go to Nebraska? Is it an away game, an away war?
That's a
Well,
good
I mean,
question.
Because if that's the case too, it's like
you bring up those cities like we're insanely outnumbered.
insanely. Here's I have to look at the population. I'm thinking you're fucking dead. Detroit done. And also like we go to Nebraska, it might have to be like Revolutionary War style, where
Pretty
it's like
flat
everyone
out
you're
there.
going to see each other 15 miles away.
Yeah, there's
we
some-
might as well just line them up, get some muskets in our hand, and get a little drummer boy and get going after
There's
it.
some guerrilla tactics going on in Nebraska.
Yeah.
You come to Nebraska.
Nebraska's gonna have to do some trench warfare.
Yeah, yeah.
Trench
Yeah.
warfare.
But to win a different way.
Okay. Let's get to Wait, so you're thinking Nebraska still?
No, I Michigan.
Okay. Andrew at _Hilliard11. I want to hear the boys' thoughts on things you kind of like about a sick day, staying home from school, watching The Price is Right, or things of that nature. Let's have a hell of a Monday, boys. Hashtag TierTalk.
Hashtag TierTalk.
Yeah.
I was never allowed to stay home from school. I'd be going to school with diarrhea. If I had strep throat, I'm at school. I was the kid getting every other kid sick.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to stay home.
Yeah.
Can I
feel that too, bro. My mom wouldn't. Anytime I go, and then I'd be sick, and I go to the nurse or whatever, and she's like, "Gotta call your mom." My mom comes in, she's almost pissed off at me.
Oh yeah, like
Because
my-
she's like, "You just worked the system to go home," and I'm thinking, I feel sick, and she's like, "You're going to school, or if it's bad, they got to take me because I have a fever." My mom would be tight going home.
you know, my mom and
You ain't playing your Game Boy.
yeah.
I'd be trying to. I gotta go take a shit. I'm sitting on the toilet trying to play the Game Boy, trying to play some Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Oh, gotta catch them all.
My mom and dad would be like pissed if I like, oh, you're waiting until this weekend to go to the doctor.
Dude,
Yeah,
the parents, if they don't believe that you're sick, they put you in hell. You're no TV, no nothing. And it's hey, if you're really sick, you should really rest. So just go in your room and
Go to sleep.
lay there.
yeah. Some parents, I got some buddies now that it'd be like sniffles, and they're fucking staying home. And anytime out here, oh, Chuck isn't here today, I just have one of them eye roll like that. That dude ain't sick. Oh, is Kid home too? Like Kid was our boy too that like lived with Chuck. But it's like we were all just friends. Like they weren't brothers or nothing. He was just living with Chuck at the time. And they'd be like, both of them were sick. It's like they're fucking at home right now playing 2K basketball.
100%.
They ain't sick.
And
Bonterra, yeah.
okay, back home.
Yeah, that
But
is. Everyone had those friends that
Yeah.
when they weren't there, you're like, I know this motherfucker's having the
Yeah.
best day.
And his name was Kid.
Kid Fields. I gave him that nickname in middle school. JJ Kidd. He loved JJ Kidd. He'd wear like wristbands around his calf with shorts. I loved him.
I loved him.
What a look.
Hey,
Yeah.
this might not be
So I
a
just call him
popular
Kid.
take.
2 D's.
I hated missing school. Was never good in school, but hated.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
Buddy, it's boring, and like all your friends are there. So when I see with these kids, it'd be more like high school. Like these kids would be like, I'm skipping class. I'm thinking, bro, I want to go to class. There's cute girls in there. My boys are in this class. Like I want to like be around. I want to be around.
I
See
always
what's going
wanted
on.
to get the I always wanted to get the 97%, 98% attendance rate. Go on the field trip at the end of the year. Get an award.
We never had that.
Never had that shit. I would have been in there every year.
Yeah,
Every year.
with the sniffles.
We had a girl at our high school graduation. She was also our valedictorian, Lainey Anderson. Shout out Lainey.
Shout out, Lenny.
Perfect attendance, all the way K through 12.
No way.
K through 12. It was the first time in our like school's history.
It's
and
the first
they
time
have
in
this-
American history.
But truly, they have this whole plaque and everything. Well, there's like doctor's appointments that you could like miss, like a class and it still counted. You know what I mean? Of a full
Right.
day. But she made it past like 5 periods at least every single day, which is crazy.
That is nuts.
That tip of the cap to her.
Tip of the cap.
Yeah, tip of the cap. Tip of the cap.
Yeah, the whole sickness thing.
How are you gonna be if when Rue and Scotty are come up to you like, Dad, I don't feel good, like my stomach hurts.
Oh, they'll go to school. Rue didn't have the fever symptoms, but Rue had hand, mouth, foot, and her ass was at school. There's
Which
more of
is
like checking with the
insane.
teachers and everything else.
That's insane.
There is a thing too, like you check with the teachers and there's a level of they're not contagious if they don't have a fever and they don't have like sores in their mouth. They just kind of have the reaction
dots.
of it. Scotty had the fever and everything else. Rue just kind of had like the dots and stuff on her foot and everything else, but they were like already scabbed, and that's like a sign that she's not contagious. So it's like we checked with the teachers, but it was also one of those things. Like I saw Charles was like, well, she needs to go to school. She's feeling fine. And I'm like, I'm with you, but it kind of looks weird. It kind of looks like a bit of a deal. And she's like, put shoes on and everything else. And that's where I'm like, okay, we're on the same page. I just need more of a push because I'm like, this seems like it could be a deal. And once I drive and drop her off, I'm like asking the teachers and everything else, and everything was all solid. But they'll go to go to school.
Putting your foot down, like no, you're.
Yeah, it's how you going to show up every day. Like this is a discipline and a principle that you embody and you have to establish when they're little. Because I know that's how my parents were with me. Like there was no getting out of, trying to be sick or anything else. There were times where you're absolutely dog sick and you just can't go to school. But yeah, as long as they're not like running a fever and everything else, like if you're feeling bad, it's like, okay, if you got like a little cold, like to me, you're going to school.
Well, we got to be in the hundreds before that conversation takes place of like, do they miss school?
Oh, of a fever?
Yeah.
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 Big time. Same. My mom would do anything she could to get me to school. Of like, I had to be actively vomiting or have like a 101 fever. So,
Bro, one
feel you
time
guys.
when I was like younger, probably 9 or something like that, I did not want to go to school one day, and I tried to play sick, didn't have the fever, heard about the penny thing under the tongue, tried that, didn't work. That night, I took one of those little green, like army soldiers with the little musket, and it had like the little point to it, and I kept putting it in my nose and tickling the back of my nose and sneezed. And I kept sneezing to where my mom came in like, let's just call it an hour later, and she's like, hey, you're not going to school tomorrow. Like, it sounds like you're really having a hard time. I was like, I'm having a really tough time. Didn't sneeze the rest of the night because I went right to sleep right after that. They had to know.
Yeah, bro, I would.
They had to know I was lying.
Yeah.
I had that thing like touching my brain at some point. My eyes are like welting up while I'm like, I gotta get out. Had no idea why I wanted to get out of school.
You
so
were doing
bad.
the COVID test before the COVID test.
Yeah, exactly. I was in the OG one when they take a hard right turn.
I feel like a sneeze is so easy to fake. I just love that you're like, no, we're getting the real.
Yeah, I was like water pouring out of my eyes. And it was just like one side to it. My right side of my face was just like all red, and the other side's like totally fine.
I had to put myself in a situation where it's like I needed somebody else to be my alibi.
Mm-hmm.
And so after dinner one night, I'm like, I'm going to take a shower. Wyatt's like 6 years younger than me, but he's young enough to where he's showering. It's like, all right, you guys, you help Wyatt shower, everything else. And I house a bunch of applesauce in my mouth, and I kind of hold it to where we're showering, and I just pretend to throw up all over the shower, so that way White could leave the shower and be like, oh yeah, Will was throwing up, and I can kind of milk it a little bit. Like those were,
And it goes in the drain too, which is genius.
yeah, to where she can't check it. All she has to do is trust White, and kind of going off my body language. White's young enough; he doesn't know.
True
He has
acting
no
skills.
clue.
Yeah, that is elite.
Do we have more tier talk, Sherm?
We do, but just because of time, we're thinking we may kick it to Chad Powers.
Okay.
We've got some interviews coming.
All right, let's kick it to Chad Powers real quick. Oh, Chad Powers, 8 years after flushing his promising college football career down the toilet, hotshot quarterback Russ Holiday tries to resurrect his dreams by disguising himself as Chad Powers, a talented oddball who walks on a struggling South Georgia catfish, based on Eli Manning's Eli's Places segment from ESPN and Omaha Productions. This comedy event will take viewers by surprise with a comeback story that everyone can relate to. Chad Powers is now streaming with new episodes Tuesday on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. For bundle subscribers, terms apply. Listen. Have you seen the latest episode?
I have not.
Okay.
I am fired up though that like we were streaming too, and you saw a couple comments in the live chat being like, "Yo, Chad Powers is actually really good." Laugh out loud. It's like, it's tough to oversell it, but we genuinely feel like this is a good show.
This show is genuinely good. So after they play Tennessee, they beat Tennessee. The last episode that came out was The spooky, they go to Spirit Halloween. He loses all the stuff. They have to go. Russ Holiday gets a gun, and they end up finding all the stuff on the floor. They end up getting back to the hotel where he sees the girl. What's the girl's name again?
Ricky.
Don't know why I always forget that. Ricky and Russ Holiday, not Chad Powers, see each other at the elevator, and Ricky's like, oh, I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. They go back and forth where you see like one of them's a little lingering at the elevator for a minute as she's coming up to do bed checks. He runs up. They end up getting saved. That next day, they beat the Tennessee Volunteers. So this next episode that takes place, they are 5-0. They're ranked like top 10 in the country or something like that. And College Game Day is trying to do a interview,
like a feature,
featured piece on Chad Powers.
Oh my God.
To where Chad's like, having a really hard time. He's throwing up during it. It's a whole deal. A whole deal.
One of the top quotes. Remember we said like the Wolves was a great one?
Yeah.
This one they're like, who's like really influenced you? And he just looks, he's like, Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah. So good. They talk him into it. You see Ricky starting to like Chad Powers a little bit, but does Ricky like Chad Powers if she knows he's Russ Holiday? It's a whole back and forth, man. They have a nice little moment while they're watching film together. Great show. Well done show. Chad Powers, Russ Holiday, decides to himself in this show, which we don't see any further down at that. The only reason why bad things happen to Russ Holiday is because he's Russ Holiday. If he's always Chad Powers from here on out, it seems like only good things happen to Chad Powers. So he's essentially saying, I'm no longer Russ Holiday. Chad Powers is who I am. He's even looking up like how to get plastic surgery to change his face to look like that forever. And so now he's having this identity crisis, turmoil, bipolar type multi-personality thing that's taking place back and forth.
Oh, I love that.
So it's fun.
There is a crazy wrinkle in this episode. We won't spoil it fully.
Yeah, don't spoil. Even Taylor talking about that right there. I'm not saying that's a spoiler, but I'm just thinking in my head like the writers. What a platform and stage for these writers,
Right.
To like make something out of something that, again, we'll say it again, people felt like it was like beating a dead horse with the Chad Powers and Eli Manning stuff, and it's like, what is this Hulu show? And it's honestly, it's a good show.
Delete that highlighted thing so Will doesn't see it.
Okay, yes, please,
delete
please,
that. Delete. Because body, I forgot about that.
Here's the segment.
Russ Holiday takes somebody down. I'll say that. Takes down a broad at the bar.
All right, easy,
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Here's the segment that we do have from the show. It's called a fresh set of downs segment, where we spotlight one transfer portal player, current or past, who wasn't playing ball well or was buried on the depth chart, and all they needed was a fresh set of downs in order to spark their redemption story and turn their college careers around. This week's fresh set of downs segment player of the week is Cade McConnell, Vanderbilt offensive lineman, the left guard.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the franchise.
Was the number 10 player in Oklahoma, valedictorian in high school, went to Minnesota originally, transferred from Minnesota to Vandy, and he's one of the best offensive guards in the country. We have a little clip that we can show you where he is body bagging LSU Tigers. Cade McConnell was also summer intern for Bussin With The Boys.
Yeah.
I did not see that clip.
Summer intern to Bus with the Boys. Probably
And it's your first time seeing him, Mitch? Bro.
was a beneath him internship. Valedictorian, the whole thing. No disrespect to all of us, but also disrespect to all of us.
Cade is kind of the one who helped catapult the entire internship program operation.
Yeah.
Because he was DMing us, but he was DMing Sherm, to where Sherm kind of had like, hey, I see that there's this O lineman at Vanderbilt. He's been talking about me about an internship, like he needs a certain credit or something like that. Could be fun because he plays college football. He's at Vanderbilt. They had a good year last year. They could be tough this year. Dude seems like he would love to be for the brand, says he'll do whatever it takes, whatever he can do for the brand. We hire guys like in operations, in production, in social, like specific people like in those lanes, and we were kind of just adding like, we were going to do Cade the whole time. He was kind of going to just be our football guy who joined the boys, but he came in and he was like the most surprising. We hired a few people from that litter, but he was like a stud.
Yeah.
Like somebody you just wouldn't expect. Like, okay, offensive lineman, he's doing it for credit. He'll be fun banter. He'll be good around the vibes. He'll be good around the shop, but he's cutting clips. He's doing everything to where it's like, dude, you're going to be special.
No job too big, no job too small. Guy's on scholarship. He's at Vandy. They're a hot team. He's getting NIL money. And he comes in here and acts like He's doing janitorial things. He's cutting clips. He's doing literally whatever it takes to be one of the boys. It's unbelievable. Can we break down this play for a second? Go to the beginning of this play.
Of course.
This is a special play by Cade McConnell. You see they got a little, so they're like in this like 3-4 look right now. So they're fanning out the left tackle and left guard. Cade McConnell's playing left guard. They're fanning out. So these two guys are man. The end, who's a 4-eye, he's going to go out towards the tackle, basically allowing Cade to go back in. But Cade played a little bit. The way he body bags this 4-eye technique, go ahead, let him bank, and then right here, that's amazing. You see the Will linebacker, he's dropped into coverage, so you know he just helped out your left tackle. That's a win for him on that side. He could essentially be done and just kind of hold space. The fact that he's going in to handle the center after that too, because you know a lot of times when one guy drops another way, there could be blitzers coming the opposite way, so you have to bang a lot of guys back. This is heady football. This is valid Victorian football type shit right here. That gets me juiced up because he's
Gets
violent.
the piss hot.
The thing that fires me up is his feet are incredible here. He's got extension on his punch. He's violent with his punch without getting over his toes, and he's banging back. And when you're banging back, you're not like taking over the block, so you can throw that shoulder into it. Football porn. That's football porn.
I don't know where he
that's
is.
6 to midnight. That's you talking about 49 for Minnesota last week. I know the situation, but like you brought that up in the stream where you're like, that's football porn
I
for a
feel that, but
linebacker.
you're definitely intentionally going out of your way right there to bring up 49.
So
You didn't have to do
it's
that.
the way Will talks about Luke Kuechly.
Yeah,
This is
I don't know where he's.
first off, that's not true, but go ahead.
I don't know where he's ranked on the NFL or anything else because I know he's a junior. He's got another year and all that. But if there are scouts that are watching tape, whether they're watching Diego, whatever cats they're watching at Vanderbilt, or on the defensive side for LSU and they're watching this game, that right there is a clip to where it's like, say he's not in the top 10, whatever it is. That's one where it's like, who is this kid?
Right.
And his name starts to get in some conversations.
That's name stuff.
And if he puts some consistency behind that, like this is a clip you will see on draft night, on draft day, whenever he does get picked.
In the top
Like,
10.
look at him here as a junior against LSU's defense.
Yes.
I may be wrong here, but I feel like I've heard some Joe Moore talks about Vandy's offensive line.
Could be. Dude, they're playing incredible
well,
right now.
man.
They're playing amazing.
I don't know what the stats are coming out of the LSU game, but before the LSU game, they were averaging over 6 yards per rush, which was number 1 in the country.
Unbelievable.
What's crazy about Vandy's O-line and Cade in general is he switches sides each, like every other play.
Which is insanity,
he doesn't play just
by the
right
way.
guard or left guard. They switch all the time. So within one series, he could take 3-4 snaps at left guard, 3-4 snaps at right guard.
Dude, I
that's
love
insane.
That is. I kind of hate that.
He had another.
Yeah,
great,
you hate that, but I just love how it's like he's just thinking, just fucking have me in the game. Like I'll swing any which way.
you gotta
No,
go.
they move the tackle too. They bring the guard and the tackle. So like he sticks with the one guy. They just switch each time. It's the way Vandy runs their offense.
That's crazy. What they need to do, Cade McConnell needs to transfer to Michigan next year if he's got one more year. What were you saying, Kid?
I was gonna say we're watching Vandy LSU, and my dad was going, "Hey, that's y'all's guy. That's Cade. That's 70 that sprung Diego for that touchdown run they had up the left sideline."
Yeah.
He had a nasty block on that one too. He was head hunting.
Boy was flowing right there.
Yeah.
There's another clip of him going viral too when he pulled from right guard and he came down and just completely ran someone over. Too.
That fires me up.
Cade's been getting some love.
Love, bro.
One last talk about this clip.
Love that.
2 years ago when LSU played at Vandy, there was an LSU offensive lineman who essentially did the same thing to Vandy defense. And it's cool to see that script flipped, and it's even cool that it's our guy that did it.
And I hope too that this photo is what's kind of sitting here while we talk about them, because just look at Demon, just a specimen next to Cade.
A couple of dogs out there.
Yeah, it just makes you realize how fucking big Cade is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
crazy that
granted-
those are two of the same things. Those are both humans.
Those are the same.
Right. Like those are both mammals or whatever we are.
both
Like that's
males.
crazy.
They're both of the human species.
They're both males.
Yeah, like those are both like if this was a litter of dogs, like like that one's related to that one, like in some one way, shape, or form, like those things are related right there. That's crazy.
Those are both Homo sapiens.
Yeah, no doubt.
Homo sapiens.
Yeah, the one on the left's a little extra. You know what I'm saying?
And both, it's so funny you brought up the dog litter thing, because if they were both
You
looking,
get a little cap locked on those forward letters at the beginning, huh, Sherm? That was your joke. Sherm told me that joke before. Anybody who gets mad at me for that joke.
You got a little less sapien.
One's got more sapien than the other.
the dog litter analogy that you use, they would both, if they were shopping for dogs, Cade would be picking the one that looked like Cade, and Jared would for sure be picking the one that looked like Jared. He's like, let me give that one a chance.
Right.
Let me take this one home.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's cute. He seems like he just needs some cuddling. He can jump on the bed.
Cade wants like a big fucking dog. Jared's like, I'll take the little
little
pocket-
scamper.
the
That little
chihuahua.
scamper over here.
The little pocket poodle.
You know, Demon's swinging it in the air right now, just thinking he's got a German Shepherd, doesn't he?
Yeah, German Shepherd.
Like
He's got
mix.
Miss Pickles. What's his
He's got a couple bigger dogs.
Miss Biscuits.
Yeah, Miss
Huskies,
Biscuits.
man. Huskies.
Shout out Miss Biscuits.
Huskies. No.
Oh my gosh.
Do we want to get into Drew Brees? He'll be on with us any second. Do we have anything else we want to hit in the intro? Any pet peeves? Anything?
Yeah, shout out, no free shout out. This weather, it's finally broke. It's here. Fall is here.
Yeah, bro.
I got a pet peeve. On the flight home, there was a family. There was a little kid behind me that was just kicking my chair the whole time. All good. Like, I know what it's like to have children on a flight. Yeah. And that, to me, it's like, listen, it's an hour flight. I can handle this little massage chair in the back just kicking me back and forth. That's no problem. But I look back for a second. The mom, she's just staring at her phone while this kid's doing that, and that's where I'm thinking to myself, honey. Like, we got to teach these kids things. It's not the kid's fault that he's taking the thing because he doesn't know he's doing the wrong thing right now. The dad notices after I think he's Indian. He was something. He had a hard accent on it. Okay, cool. And we go to get off the flight and he goes, oh, I'm not going to do the accent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the accent. He looks at me and he goes, my kid was kicking the back of your chair. And I was like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. He goes, I'm not sorry. And I was like, you're not sorry? And he goes, I'm not sorry. And I was like, I assume there's a language barrier going on here. Yeah. That's a crazy thing to say. But my pet peeve is that mom on her phone. Get off your phone on the flight.
I think he probably was sorry.
He probably was. He probably had to be. Had to be.
Was he smiling?
He said, I'm not sorry. And I'm thinking you're accidentally just putting a knot in there.
Was he mean mugging like the whole time?
He was more of a stone face killer. Yeah.
No,
he's more of a stone face.
He definitely was not sorry. He was just trying to be a dick.
Oh.
Why? But I didn't say nothing. I was just chilling, Mitch.
I think it's because like did you like turn around?
No. I was sitting there and I had a little gap right here and I'm talking to Will and I kind of gave like a peek, like I went like a little peek ski and I just see the mom chinned up doing her thing. And I thought, oh, that's kind of crazy.
I feel like when you learn the English language, you know, like not, it's like in Borat, like you learn what not means.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Borat got it figured out quick.
Borat, if anything, the word not was a mainstay for him.
Yeah.
What?
You learn what not means.
Yeah, maybe fuck that guy, dude.
I'm on your side. Like, I'd be pissed.
No, I'm with you. You know what I did? Didn't say shit. Got off the plane.
That's big of you.
Got off the plane. Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm beat up some Indian dude? Anywho, let's get into Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, then Zack Baun. All right, gentlemen, as always, these interviews are brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste, and Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL Draft, tied in you with Bud Light partner George Kittle, the UFC, and Shane Gillis' 2025 tour. Partners also include Peyton Manning, Baker Mayfield, Emmitt Smith, Post Malone, Dustin Poirier, Shane Gillis, and the boys. Stock up now on Bud Light and head to www.budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Enjoy Drew Brees and Zack Baun.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
You got me? All right. What's up, man?
What's going on? Dude, I'm looking over this, and I obviously am very familiar with your career, but Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 44, 13-time Pro Bowler, 2004 NFL AP Comeback Player of the Year, 2006 NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year, 2008 AP Offensive Player of the Year, 2011 NFL AP Offensive Player of the Year. Like, buddy.
I mean, you missed one.
What'd I miss?
Former teammate of Will Compton's for 10 days. For 10 days.
That's
so,
right.
Of all those accolades, talk to me about what Will Compton did for you in your career.
Just lead by example. You know, I mean, I always thought I was the first guy in, last one to leave, but then this guy comes to town and just tries to show me up. You know?
Oh, stop, Drew.
Take the game to another level.
That's him. That's us.
That's us. That's you guys together.
Practice, making me look bad.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
Devastating.
Where should we start? We have a lot of ground to cover.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning. Talk to me about growing up, getting no offers out of high school. and ended up a Boilermaker. Talk to me about that process.
Yeah. So I say this, look, man, you grow up in the state of Texas, obviously football's a way of life. For a lot of small towns, everything shuts down for Friday Night Lights. I definitely grew up in that atmosphere. My grandfather was a longtime high school football coach down at Gregory Portland High School, Portland, Texas, outside of Corpus Christi, for 38 years. So, as a kid, we would spend our summers down there. Basically, me and my brother were water boys for his football teams. So as a kid, man, I love sports. I mean, I was all ball, right? Just a gym rat. Football, basketball, baseball, track, cross country, tennis, soccer, like you name it, just any stick and ball. And honestly, going into high school, I was 3-sport athlete. So, and if you asked me to put it in order of which sports were my favorite and maybe that I was kind of best at, it was baseball, then basketball, and then football. So really
you could play on the basketball court.
Yeah, I would play the point, but there was a better point guard, so I played the two. I was a shooting guard. But at baseball, like I was the 3-hole hitter, threw right, batted left, played short, but there was a better shortstop, so I played third. There's a theme here, there was better guys, so I just shifted positions, But yeah, batted 3-hole. Modeled my swing after Ken Griffey Jr. Ted Williams was my favorite player of all time, the Splendid Splinter. So yeah, really it was like baseball was my trajectory. That's where I really thought I would end up, hopefully having a chance to play at the next level, either college or get drafted. So even throughout high school, like I'm playing baseball, I'm playing basketball, and yeah, I'm playing football, but hey, I was starting B team quarterback on the freshman team, and now I'm the backup on JV, and I don't think I'm ever going to play. And there was actually a moment my sophomore year, midway through training camp, like hot Texas heat, brutal. My mom picks me up from practice and she can tell like I'm down in the dumps. We pull into the garage and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Mom, I think I'm going to quit football. Like, I just don't think this is my path. I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time. Like, I'm playing behind this guy who's a phenom, and he's going to be the heir apparent starter on varsity. So I'm just going to ride the bench here for the next couple of years. Why wouldn't I just focus on baseball if that's where I really think my path is?" And she's like, "I mean, do you love it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, look, I love the competition. I love having the ball in my hands. I mean, I love the quarterback, position, everything that comes along with it. Love being out there with my boys, but I just don't think I'm ever going to get a chance to play." And she's like, "You never know when your opportunity will come. So just stick it out. But first off, you made the commitment for this year. Like, so you're locked in. We can reassess at the end of the year, but you never know when your opportunity will come." And so sure enough, a week later, like going into my JV sophomore season where I was just going to ride the bench, the starter gets hurt in the final scrimmage. He tears his ACL. So, man, he's out. And all of a sudden I'm thrust into the starting job. And the rest is kind of history there with football. Like it just took off. We ended up going 10-0 as a JV. I played really well. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, you're going to be the guy. Like you're going to be the starter on varsity. And ironically, like this is 1995. We go into my junior season of high school football. I went to Westlake High School, Austin, Texas. It's a perennial powerhouse. Yeah. Like always quarterfinals or beyond, big school in the state of Texas. But we had never won a state championship. Like we'd always gotten really, really close, but never won one. And like this was our year, like the best team we've ever had. And we are rolling through the playoffs. And in third round of the playoffs, I end up coming off of a bootleg, get hit, come down, my knee buckles, and sure enough, I've torn my ACL, MCL, lateral meniscus. And so like all of a sudden now, the whole reason I was starting was because this guy in front of me had done that and I had taken his job. And so now all of a sudden this happens to me. And this is like December of 95. And so, or excuse me, it was December of 95. Yep. And so now all of a sudden, not only did, that kind of derails our playoff run, but then I missed the basketball season and I missed the baseball season. So,
and you're a junior, right?
That's when you get recruited, right? That's your junior year where, man, this is when everybody's kind of looking at you and thinking about who they're going to offer and all that stuff. And look, I was not an impressive guy to look at, probably still not. 6 foot, 170 pounds, right? Like nothing prototype about that. And so then even going into my senior season, I gained about 20 pounds just from working out in the rehab process and all that stuff to come back. But still, 6 foot 195, running a 5.28, boys, 5.28 40 with the big clunky knee brace. I was not a real impressive guy to look at, not the guy that the recruiting coordinator is going to go and be like, hey man, I got a gem for us. 6 foot 190, runs a 5.28 with a big old knee brace. You're going to love this kid.
Yeah. Do you feel like offers and stuff would have been there had you not torn your ACL? Because again, you're like, you did you go on to win a state title your senior year?
Yeah. Look, I guess the accolades were there, right? Like we went 16-0. We won a state championship in the biggest school in the state of Texas.
Yes.
I was the 5A offensive player of the year in the state of Texas.
Yes.
Right.
As big as it gets.
So all that would tell you, okay, man, maybe he's got a little something.
Yeah.
But again, like I think everybody at times gets pretty enthralled with the measurables, right?
Yeah.
Like the prototype look. And I was certainly not that guy. Like I was a multi-sport athlete, right? So I think if you just kind of looked at it the way people look at it now, I think that's a really attractive thing now, is that they look at, hey, does this guy play other sports? Does he just knows how to ball, loves competition, that sort of thing. I think I checked all the boxes there, but certainly the measurables weren't there. And so when it came down to it, I ended up getting recruited by 2 schools. It was Purdue and Kentucky. And the situations there were that both of them had new coaching staffs. So with Kentucky, Hal Mummy, I don't know if you remember this, Hal Mummy, he was kind of part of that air raid offense, and that was really starting to take off like mid-90s. He came from Valdosta State to Kentucky, and the quarterback at Kentucky at that time was Tim Couch. So Tim Couch was my host on my visit to Kentucky. And basically, like, these guys kind of painted the picture for me. First of all, they were like, you can play football and baseball here. You're going to come in. You're going to back up Tim Couch because nobody's beating this dude out. He's a phenom. Yeah, he's right. A stud. He's gonna play for 2 more years. So you're going to redshirt, back him up, and then he's going to leave early for the draft. He'll be the first pick, and then you're going to start for 3 years here at Kentucky, and you're going to play baseball. I was like, okay, that actually sounds pretty attractive.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice deal. Yeah.
And then I go to Purdue, and Purdue had Joe Tiller, who just came from Wyoming, and they were running the spread offense. And he said that they were going to recruit me at Wyoming, but they're like, there's no way we're going to get this kid up to Wyoming. But then when he got to Purdue and it was Big Ten, maybe a little bit bigger program, I was like, okay, now we can go after him. But he was shocked to hear that I didn't have any offers, really. So it came down to Purdue and Kentucky. And honestly, I chose Purdue mainly because of the academic reputation, but also playing in the Big Ten. The quarterback prior to us was a guy named Jay Rogers. He's actually the D-line coach for the New Orleans Saints right now. But he was our quarterback for Westlake High School. He went to Indiana University, so IU, and I played with his brothers. And so we would get together on the weekends to watch him play. And I'm watching him play against Michigan and Ohio State and all the big boys. And at the time, Big Ten was, all those schools, I think was where everybody aspired to go and play, with or against. Yeah. And so I remember seeing that, saying, all right, you're telling me I get to play against Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin every year and get a great education. And I was like, sign me up. So that's why I chose Purdue.
Dude, that is awesome. What were there any other moments? Clearly you were able to that moment you had. You said, was that with your mom, where she was asking you, saying you're going to finish out the rest of the year? You have that moment with your mom, and then your opportunity kind of comes, and you're kind of forged through the fire on understanding these lessons at a young age. Were there any lessons or moments during your time at Purdue that carried you into the NFL as well, to where maybe you got tested, or maybe it was another moment that you're able to look back on and see that, hey, I'm glad I stayed true to the process here?
Yeah, absolutely. So many similarities, high school. I talked about Westlake High School. When we moved into that district my freshman year, and ironically, it was because my mom, we lived all over Austin, in a bunch of different parts of town. My parents had gotten divorced when we moved to Austin. So it was kind of a tough time early, just as they were kind of trying to find, their rhythm. But at the end of the day, my mom looked around and said, okay, what's the best high school that's going to put my kids in a best position to succeed athletically, academically? And so she chose Westlake High School and was basically all right, I'm moving into the district so you can go to school here. And I remember showing up that day one, my freshman year of high school, And literally they were like, okay, who wants to play quarterback? And like 40 hands went up in the air, including mine. And I looked around and I was like, dude, I am never going to touch the field, right? It was kind of similar at Purdue. Like, yeah, I get recruited, but I get recruited alongside 2 other quarterbacks, right, that were highly touted guys from the Midwest, big-time recruits, coming to play in the spread offense, right? Like that was the big allure. You're going to throw it 50 times a game. And I show up, so there's 7 guys there to play quarterback my true freshman year. So once again, it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to end up, being a tackling dummy here for a few years before I maybe even get the chance to step on the field. Well, I ended up kind of becoming the backup quarterback to a 5th-year senior my true freshman year, and played in about 7 or 8 games. One of those being in a critical moment against Michigan State. Nick Saban was the head coach there. Like our guy was not playing well, so they benched him. They put me in. I'm kind of like, the young freshman going to come in and start slinging it. I had no idea what I was doing. I threw a ball, it gets tipped, gets intercepted. They pull me back out, put the 5th-year senior in. Ironically, we go down and score like 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes to go win the game. But like plenty of moments there where, man, you're just questioning whether you belong. I think there's always, especially those moments as you kind of tick up levels, from high school to college to the pros, you have those moments of like, man, like a little bit of self-doubt, like, do I belong here? And it's a bit overwhelming. And it is where you just have to, it's like you got to just trust your training and trust your instincts and trust the process. And, a lot of self-belief, but also just, the overcoming of adversity. And feeling like if you do things the right way, good things are going to happen. And then you get to the point where you almost, man, you embrace the adversity, you embrace the challenges. Look, there were some defining moments in college. I'd say one of the biggest ones was I ended up winning the starting job my sophomore year. So we open up the year at USC, kind of a big moment, first start in the Coliseum against the USC Trojans in 1998. We end up losing that game, but I kind of felt like, okay, man, I can do this. And then we end up playing, I think it was Central Florida and Rice. We get wins there. And then all of a sudden it's kind of like leading up to this big game at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is top 10. And this is like dream come true, like going to play at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I'm a sophomore. Like this was one of the whole reasons that I chose to come to Purdue, was to be able to play in games like this. And for 58 minutes of that game, I play absolutely lights out. Like I blacked out and just, and we end up like, we're beating a top 10 team in the country, as little old Purdue coming into Notre Dame. And then unfortunately in the last 2 minutes, like we're just trying to just ice the game, just get 1 first down. Notre Dame's burning timeouts. So we get to 3rd and 10 and coach kind of like, hey, I'm going to call a pass play. I'm putting this thing in your hands. Like, let's go get this first down and go win this game. And it was kind of like one of these rollout plays, and I'm throwing the ball over the middle to a guy, and I just let the ball sail a little bit high. And it kind of tips off his fingertips, and Tony Driver, the free safety, picks it off, runs it back to like the 2-yard line. They kick a field goal to take the lead. And then we have another now 2-minute drive to try to go win it, and I throw another pick. So basically 2 picks in the final 2 minutes. And, dude, when I say – well, first off, Purdue hadn't won at Notre Dame in like 30 years, okay? And so I'm sitting here looking at all the seniors in the locker room, and everybody's like crying and just, like we had fought so stinking hard. And I was sitting there going, dude, you are responsible for this pain. Right? Like, I mean, like we all have these moments,
right.
And it's like, and then we insult to injury. Like we now ride the bus back to Purdue. We bust up to South Bend for this game. It's only like 2.5 hours away. So I'm riding the bus back to Purdue. And I'm literally just staring out at the cornfields, in Indiana. And I'm just like, all right, this is like, you have a choice here, right? Like you can just go in the tank as a result of what just happened. Or you can, freaking bow up, stiff upper lip, man, and show these guys what you're made of, right? And so look, a tough week of practice, but it was just like lock in, focus. This has to be your best performance. And then we come out against Minnesota, and I think I went 31 of 36 for 522 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Oh, damn.
Yes, sir.
Every single game record in Purdue history that next game. And it was kind of like one of these misty, eerie day, like Midwest fall days. But it was just like, it all kind of came together. And it was one of those, I don't know, it was like one of those prove it moments to myself. They're like, you can overcome one of these kind of devastating moments that mentally could really mess with you, right?
Absolutely
And
devastating.
if you can come back that next week and absolutely put your best foot forward, and I don't know, it proved a lot to myself.
Yeah, 2 picks in those last 2 drives. You're definitely you're
Trying to ice the game.
Yeah, you're putting that entire game on yourself. Like, fuck, maybe I am who they think I am.
Right. Maybe my mom was wrong. I should have just played baseball the entire. Like, you're going way back into all that.
Let me quit football.
Yeah, I should have quit the whole entire time, dude. What was like being a sophomore and having that happen at the end of the Notre Dame game? Were there any like seniors? Like, how was the leadership in that building at that time? Were they like coming up to you and checking you, putting their hand on your shoulder, but hey, it's going to be all right? Or was it like, leave the kid alone and see what he does? No one's coming to save you vibes.
No, I would say we had good culture on that team, and we had a good group of guys. And honestly, we had guys that had been kind of beaten down for a while. Like Purdue hadn't had a lot of success, up to that point. 15 straight losing seasons or something like that, and just a lot of dysfunction. When Joe Tiller got there, he had cleaned house on a lot of guys, like that was a really tough first, spring ball where he was honestly trying to run some guys out. Right. And just make sure that he kind of kept the right guys. And so everybody who was there, like, had earned their right to be there. And it was because they were great leaders and were great. They had formed the culture. And so, man, I did have plenty of guys that put their arm on me like, hey, man, we got you. We believe in you. And obviously that means a lot. But I also knew I had to prove it to them.
Yeah. So just for more context, everybody that already knows Drew Brees, but just going to say it again, 6 foot, less than 200 pounds, around 200 pounds. You tear your ACL. You got a bum ACL. Over 5 seconds in the 40. You still get drafted in the second round to the Chargers. You tear the shit out of your shoulder. Can you give us a look inside your mental, your mind during that process? Because in your career, in your journey, you've had to trust your instincts. You've had to stay true to your beliefs, what you believe, and everything else. Can you give us a look inside that moment when you tore your shoulder with the Chargers and how close you were to potentially not playing ever again? I think you failed the physical later on as well. Like, give us a look inside of that story of overcoming that adversity.
Yeah. So that was at the time, man, that was about as devastating as it gets. Because that was truly a moment where I felt like my dream was just being ripped away. That I would never play football again. And look, my first 5 years with the San Diego Chargers, man, there were plenty of ups and downs. I came in as a rookie and backed up Doug Flutie for a year. Yeah. Which was to have Doug Flutie as a guy to learn from and as a mentor for 4 years, because he ended up then backing me up for 3 years, was pivotal for me in my growth, development, and for my career. But during that stretch where I was the starter, I was benched 3 times by Marty Schottenheimer for various reasons. Sometimes it was turning the ball over too much. Sometimes it wasn't getting the job done. Sometimes it was just, hey, we need a spark. I'm going to throw Flutie in there. But nonetheless, for a young guy who's working so hard to establish himself, as the starter for a team and gain that respect and that belief from my teammates in the organization, man, that's a shot to the ego, right? And never had I had a moment in my career where I truly lost confidence. And there was definitely a moment or two during that stretch where you would say, I lost confidence. I was just not sure if I could get the job done, right? And yet, man, had battled through that and, spent off seasons just dedicating myself to being the very best leader that I could be, quarterback, looking at my diet, my sleep habits, I was leaving no stone unturned. And finally had kind of reached this point, 04, 05, where, okay, I am now a good player in this league. And I'm clearly the starting quarterback for this team and have earned the right to be the franchise quarterback for this organization. Yeah. And then going into the very last game of the 2005 season, which was the end of my contract. So it was okay, I've made it all the way through. Yeah. I've proven it. And now's the opportunity to get the commitment from the organization. Long-term, you're our guy. Despite the fact that they drafted Phillip Rivers, 2 years previous, who is now my backup, man, I am going to be the guy. And then that very last game against the Denver Broncos, I come out of a pile jumping for a fumble, and I have this dislocated right throwing shoulder. Literally, my arm is stuck like this. It had dislocated out the bottom, and it was just stuck like that. So I remember walking to the sideline. It's kind of like one of these rainy days, and like my body's in shock, but I know exactly what it is, and I know the gravity of the situation, And I sat there as I'm walking off the field, and I literally thought to myself, "This is the last time I'm ever going to put on a Charger uniform." Oof. And then I get to the sideline. I was like, this may be the last time I ever play football again. As the doc is like, lethal weapon sliding my shoulder back into my socket. And even, a couple days after that, like I go see Dr. James Andrews, who was the preeminent, orthopedic surgeon down in Birmingham, Alabama. And literally he's looking at me like, "Hey, you have so much swelling in that shoulder. I really don't know the extent of the damage. Like, just let me get in there and figure it out. And then I'll kind of tell you when it's done." So like literally as I'm going under for surgery, I still don't know what's going to happen or even the gravity of the whole, injury. And I end up coming out of the surgery, and he's like, "Well, he goes like, if I had to do that surgery 100 times, I couldn't do it as well as I just did it." That was his message to me. So I was like, "Okay, that's what I want to hear, doc." I'm like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Look, you have a long road ahead of you. Like, it's a minimum 8 months before you're even going to ever be able to throw again." He's like, "I put you back together, but man, this rehab process is going to be a bear, and you're going to have to learn how to throw again." Right. And there's kind of some non-negotiables about the rehab as we go along here. I mean, I was trying to push the envelope as much as I could, but here's something interesting that happened during that chain of events. So I actually, going into that last year, my agent had recommended that I get an insurance policy on my shoulder. I mean, or basically just on my, my body, my career.
Right.
Like, "Hey, you have the chance to sign a long-term contract, which would be worth a lot of money. If something happens to you this year, you should get a Lloyd's of London insurance contract just in the event that something happens and you can't play." So there was a moment where I had to make a decision as to whether I was going to collect the insurance policy and never play again, or I was going to attempt to play again and void the insurance policy.
Which I'm sure the insurance policy was probably a pretty hefty amount.
It was good.
Do you care to share that number at all? What that insurance policy was to show?
I think it was like $5 million. So I think it was $5 million that I could just take the $5 million and walk, or attempt to play again. And again, there was no guarantees, right? That I would play again. But I was like, "You know what? Rip that thing up, man." Like I feel like God's got me, and this is even though this is the path that I wouldn't choose, like this is the one I'm on, and I'm going to be better for it. And I think that's really the way I look at that ACL injury with my knee in high school. At the time I thought, "Hey, this is devastating. This is the worst thing ever could happen to me. I'm missing, the basketball season, the baseball season. I'm not going to get recruited." Like, yes, did it alter my path? Maybe it did, but man, it molded me, strengthened me. It made me stronger in my faith. It did so many things for my path and my direction that, had at times, if we leave it up to our own devices, I think that's when, we realize that, God has us right where he wants us, and it's all for a reason. It's all meant to mold us in a lot of different ways. And both those injuries did that for me. And look, I never would have ended up with the New Orleans Saints and had that incredible experience, incredible run, incredible journey that we had there over the course of 15 years. And obviously that became about so much more than just football. But I never would have had the chance to be a part of that if it wasn't for going through those things.
Yeah, man. How long did that rehab process take in totality?
Man, the shoulder was a solid 8 months. So, surgery was early January, and literally I wasn't ready until week 1 of the season, so call it early September. I went through training camp, but I was on a pitch count, so I was, kind of ramping up 20 throws and then 30 throws and then 40 throws. And I mean, I can remember my first couple throws, I'm sitting there throwing a slant, just dirting them, and, you can ask Sean Payton. Sean Payton's looking at our quarterback coach who had been with me in San Diego and was like, "Hey, are we seeing the best of him right now?" And my QB coach would be like, "Hey, no, there's more there. There's more there.
Yeah.
Just be patient." And truly it was one of those things where it was like, if I threw 40 throws in a day, maybe 2 or 3 of them were good.
Really?
But then the next day it was 4 or 5. And the next day it was 5 or 6. And then 7. And that, it just gradually each day. So truly trusting the process and not getting frustrated and just knowing that, man, it's just going to keep getting stronger. It's going to keep getting better. And the irony with that whole thing is, like, honestly, I came back so much stronger. Like, I'm saying, like, a stronger arm, like a stronger lower half, like better mechanics, like everything came back better. And it was probably a result of literally having to, like, rebuild the foundation for throwing again, like literally having to learn how to throw the football again. So mechanically, it was almost like, okay, any deficiencies that I had before, I can correct them now because I'm literally like rewiring the system just to get back on the field again.
I got kind of a two-parter here because we kind of brushed over the insurance policy a little bit. I want to know, like, who you talked to in that process, how long of a thought process it was before you're like, listen, $5 million sounds great, but I'm gonna keep betting on me. And then also, how did we get to New Orleans from, you know, having the shoulder surgery, playing your last game as a Charger?
Yeah. Well, it's main conversations were with my wife and then with my agent. So my agent was Tom Condon.
Shout out Tom, same.
Old Tommy, yep.
Yeah. So,
I think it was, with Tom, like, man, Tom was always so just kind of poised, even keel. Like Tom, I always felt like, you talk about an agent, you just feel like has your back, man, at all times. And like I think, as devastated as we all were that I was just in that situation, I think Tom, if anything, gave me a ton of belief that I could come back and not only play, but play at a high level, and so it was just reinforcing what I wanted to hear. I just wanted to feel like I just had everybody in my camp, and everybody that was there to help push me to be, the best that I could be, but certainly, just be unwavering, in that belief. And he was one of those guys, of course, my wife. And so, yeah, I think at the end of the day, it became an easy decision. Like I'll always regret if I don't, make a run at it, but I think all that is to say that, like, just the reality of the situation with my shoulder. Like, if you ask Dr. Andrews, he would tell you that he didn't think I was going to be able to come back and play again. Right. Even though he put it back together as good as he possibly could. He's like, just the probabilities are not good. He had never seen that injury in a throw, ever. Like, that was a bull rider's injury. Mm-hmm. When a bull rider gets his arm caught in the rope, this is what he told me. That's when he sees the dislocation out of the bottom, right? That's gnarly, man. That's gnarly. Jesus Christ. 360-degree tear of the labrum. So I had 13 anchors in my shoulder. Damn. Like, literally, I would do rehab, and it would sound like a cold rubber band. It was these anchors in my shoulder. Yeah. Like, just ringing in my ear. Dude, that's like a vivid memory of rehab.
And context for people, I tore my shoulder as well, and it works like a clock. Like, I had 12, like 13 is something extra has to be happening to your shoulder for him to have 13 anchors.
But here's the crazy too. So Zach Thomas had surgery the same day that I did with a similar injury. But you guys playing linebacker, they're going to fix you differently because you're not required to have all this external rotation.
Right,
and flow, right?
We'll have tightness for our lives. Yeah.
They're going to tighten you guys up, right? Because you don't need all that, right?
We're just right here.
But yeah, exactly. But for a QB, rotational athlete needing all this external, internal, like it's got to be stable enough, but loose enough, So it's like it's walking this delicate line, right? Then through the rehab process, it's just about building the strength in and around that joint to protect it. But it was like a work of art as I think about what Dr. Andrews had to put back together and perform.
Dude, that is incredible. Again, like you giving that perspective too, like I'm not even thinking about it on Zach Thomas, like having similar surgeries and they got to do it a little bit differently because of quarterback, linebacker, and everything else, and just you still overcoming that. And I appreciate you sharing all that with us too, because I know, like if you're young, like I'm 36, I want to say you started to take off when I was like in high school, right? Like wasn't it like when you're having like the 4,000 yard seasons, isn't that around like what? 07, 08, 06 maybe?
Yeah. 06 was our first year with the Saints, and that was really the start of the the run.
So
and the ramp up.
even at my age, like I remember, like there were a couple moments where I'm getting reminded that you played on the San Diego Chargers. I'm getting reminded your actual labrum story came up during my rehab process on just guys. It was like you. I want to say Rich Gannon was another one. But you're like learning about these things about like Drew Brees that everybody knows of as a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like anybody young that just watched you, basically your Saints days, has really, they could be hearing this for the first time, just be thinking, oh shit, he played on. It's always the oh shit, he played on the Chargers. Oh shit, Phillip Rivers was a backup to him for a couple years. Oh, he was behind Doug Flutie, like the Drew Brees that we all know right now.
Right.
It's crazy. So I appreciate you walking us down those old memories.
Yeah, that's a little bit of memory lane there. But man, every one of those. Look, I consider myself really lucky from a coaching perspective. I had Joe Tiller in college, who was so influential for me. Marty Schottenheimer with the San Diego Chargers, Sean Payton with the New Orleans Saints. So pretty rare that you would just have, that level of stability, at each level. And each one of those guys, I just have lessons that continue to ring in my ear, each and every day, especially as now I'm coaching and I'm coaching my kids and other kids. And just, a lot of my style has been modeled off of those guys.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys. We have Clay Matthews on one of our locker room show that comes out on Thursdays, and we also and just hearing about these coaches and how their approach to these kids. What is your approach with your children? Are you hardest on your kids, a little easier on the other kids?
We have Greg Olson. He's coaching his boys.
Greg Olson.
School.
They actually just won. They went 8-0.
I love watching Greg's stuff. I know. The irony is he's coaching middle school football. I was coaching my 8th grade Pop Warner son this year, and I coached Pop Warner the last 2 years too for my freshman son. It's I would say my style. Well, first off, I think it's very hard for a parent to coach your kids because it is very natural to try to overcoach them, right? It's like you feel like every lesson that comes to your mind to teach them, you just like, it's just coming out at all times. And you want to coach them like on every play. And that's where it just becomes difficult, is blurring those lines between like dad in the house and then, I'm your coach. I can't tell you how many times I've had to look my son in the eye and say, hey, son, like right now, I am your coach. I'm not your dad. Okay. I'm your coach. So listen to me, right? do what I say.
Yeah.
But I'd say this, like overall, I'd say I'm pretty intense. But I try to be intense with my praise as much as I am intense with my correction. Right. So it's not just one-sided. I would say I also try to really put each kid in the best position to succeed, and try to find moments where you can put them in a position where you are able to give them praise. I find that so many of these kids, like, to watch their growth from the start of the year to the end of the year, like, is monumental. And I think that's where we see the sport of football as just being like this creator of men, right? And good young men. There's just so many life lessons to be learned through the sport. And it's almost like you're just looking for those moments that you can set up in practice or in a game that you can immediately spin back to being a life lesson. And then I think like that recap at the end of every practice and the recap at the end of every game are probably some of my favorite moments. It's like, hey, you kind of go around the circle, all the coaches, hey, what did we learn today? And man, you just try to take something that happened in practice and then bring it back to life, right? Like the effort of some kid or, whatever it might be. Like I find that those are the most valuable parts of coaching these young kids.
I love it. So we broke down the shoulder thing a little bit. Now we're in the process. You're going this 8-month rehab where we don't know if you can play again. You've ripped up the insurance policy. Your wife's like, I believe in you. Tom Condon's like, I believe in you. Tom Condon's paid to believe in you, yet you still believe that he believes in you. How is he going out, and what other teams is he talking to that ended up you going to the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah. I would say because of the just, unknowns with the shoulder and the fact that I think word had gotten out that, I had a 25% chance of coming back and playing. That was what the Miami Dolphins doctors had assessed with me. And they had told Nick Saban that. They had told the the organization that. Because at the end of the day, it came down to the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins as being the two teams that were trying to bring me in as the starter. There was a lot of teams that were like, hey, we'll bring you in as basically like a backup and let's just see what you got, right? Let's see if you can come back. But the Saints and the Dolphins were the only two that were coming after me to be their starting quarterback.
When you look at the NFL now, and there's all these talks around quarterbacks, should they play as a rookie, all these young quarterbacks who struggle. Then you look at examples like Sam Darnold, who's in Baker Mayfield, guys
Daniel
like
Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, and clearly it was very similar with yourself. Like, what do you feel like you look at with these guys to where it's, everybody's wanting to either say they're not the guy or they're a bust, or they just need to be in a better situation? Like, what are you seeing when you watch kind of these conversations unfold, pulling from your own experience, seeing these guys now have success after having a rocky start in the NFL?
Look, man, it's a great question. And it's definitely an inexact science because we see it succeed and fail a lot, right? The first thing I would say is you can't replace experience. And so the more experience a guy has, the more that you are going to see what he's capable of and what you have. So I'll give you examples. Like, first off, I think that every NFL, any young player needs at least 40 to 50 high level starts before you're going to see, what they're capable of. I think too many times guys get drafted and maybe they've only started for a year and a half or two in college, and they're expected to come in and it just to happen. Like that's not reality. The reality is if a guy has a limited number of starts in college, it's probably going to take him a good 2 to 3 years in the NFL before you're going to know what you have. And if he's in a situation where, look, as it is in most cases, most top 10 pick quarterbacks, top 15 pick quarterbacks are going to teams that aren't very good. That's why they're drafting that high. Or they have a lot of other holes to fill. And so it's just even more pressure that's falling on the quarterback position, right? And everybody's got this win now mentality and, man, we don't have time. Like, I get it. But at the same time, you also have to understand that, man, the maturation process for a quarterback takes a little time. Mm-hmm. The guys that do come in and maybe have more success early probably has a lot to do with the team that they're on and the system and the staff, but also the amount of experience, okay? So like the rookies that came in and had success last year, okay, like the Bo Nix. Bo Nix started 60 games in college. Jaden Daniels started 4 seasons. I think 2 years for Arizona State, 2 years for LSU, right? Brock Purdy started 51 games at Iowa State, right? And every time they stepped on the field, they were not the better team, right? Like they were the underdogs. They had the chip on the shoulder. Like they had to kind of gritty. So I think those would be examples of, all right, a lot of experience, so better position to maybe have some success, early in the NFL, but still a process.
Is it still the same formula, even if they're having success early? Like, is it still kind of the same formula or system in your head to where it's like you still want to see a good 40, 50 high-level starts in the NFL? Because people talk about, they try to break down Bo Nix all the time. Like, you played for Sean Payton. Everybody's like, this partnership, this is who Sean wanted.
Right.
It seems like Bo Nix
Drew Brees
has that mental, he has that mental fortitude. He has that kind of it factor on wanting to compete and learn and be really great. He also started a shitload of games. So if he has a down game, I feel like the conversation will be, well, he had all these starts. He's kind of as good of a product as he's going to be. And it's like, well, there's still some separation from college to the NFL.
Right.
What do you see that situation like with like Bo Nix and Sean Payton in Denver? Or an example like that.
Some of it too is the style of offense that a lot of these college programs are running. Man, so much of it's no huddle, so much of it's shotgun, so much of it is RPO. You're kind of pigeonholing the quarterbacks into, in most cases, you're just reading like one person, or you're just reading like this small section of field. And so you don't really get a chance to learn a ton about coverage, or even like, in other words, I don't know if your football IQ is where it needs to be, or if you've really been in positions where you've been forced to kind of learn all of those things until you get to the NFL. And then all of a sudden it is, man, the best teams are the ones that can get under center and run the ball. Like that's, you would know, Will, like as a linebacker, if you're exclusively in shotgun, I think that gives you a lot more benefit than all of a sudden offense that is under center. We're going to pound it. Oh, here comes play action, right? Opening up shots down the field. Oh, there's the screen game. Oh, there's the shotgun. Oh, we're going empty, right? Like this variety that you can throw at defenses in the NFL. If you have the ability to go under center and add that component, I think makes you much more of a problematic offense. And I think from a quarterback perspective, it's a skill set that you need to have. Like I watch the New England Patriots right now and the Colts, two of the teams that are under center the most, and they're having some of the most success. And I think it's really benefiting those quarterbacks, and Daniel Jones and Drake May.
Yeah.
So I bring that point up just to say that I think a lot of these kids now are doing things in college that then they come to the NFL and then they're having to do stuff that maybe they've never done before. Maybe they've never been under center.
Yeah.
But man, like that's a big benefit to have. I had a little bit of that learning curve when I came in the league. We were spread offense at Purdue, throwing the ball 50 times a game. I was in shotgun 90% of the time. I get into a pro style offense with LaDainian Tomlinson and like a true fullback and Lorenzo Neal. And guess what? I'm under center like 75% of the time, right? Yeah. Having to turn my back to the defense on play action. Like I didn't know what that was like, right? So that took a little time. I saw that with Bo Nix last year because I know Sean Payton likes to do that, right? So again, it's what system were they in, and then what are you asking them to do now, and just understanding there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve that goes along with that.
Yeah, Will brought up that the Bo Nix Sean Payton relationship. Everyone always kinds of lean on like Sean Payton has found his new Drew Brees. Bo Nix, student of the game, true professional, very dialed in his routine. Did you ever have a conversation with Sean Payton about the possibility of Bo Nix, or has Bo Nix reached out to you and be like, hey, this guy's a really intense coach. How do I get him to like me a little bit more? Like, what do I got to do? Like, have you had any conversations with those two about their relationship?
Yeah. I mean, I remember talking to Sean a bunch during the draft process when all, 6 of those quarterbacks were out there, and, him talking about who he liked. And ironically, he loved Bo. He loved Bo from the very beginning. And then Bo kind of fell in his lap at whatever that was, pick 12 or 13. And I think Bo has all the traits that Sean loves. First off, Bo's a fiery competitor. Sean likes having a guy like that. Even a guy who's going to kind of snap back at him. I think that Sean Payton comes from the Bill Parcells world of coaching, which is, Bill Parcells would get on you, and I think Bill loved when you would come back to him with conviction, about whatever it was. And so Sean likes that type of a guy, and obviously Bo too, multi-sport athlete, ton of experience, knows what he likes. Definitely a learning curve, with some of the things in Sean Payton's offense. And I think you've seen him grow and mature through that. I've had many conversations with Bo too. I think just at the end of the day, just about like preparation and process.
Situational
I spent some time with him this offseason. Great kid, man. Loves ball. And wants to be great.
You definitely see the mental fortitude with Bo Nix. This last game against the Giants, I think they scored 36 in the fourth.
33 in the fourth, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Unreal.
Unbelievable. Because you thought, like, I'm watching Jackson Dart and he's getting a couple penalties in that last game. I'm like, this kid is really lighting the NFL on fire. And they score relatively quickly. It's like, holy shit, Bo Nix is about to do.
And just two dimes.
He's about to do it. If we go travel back down to the Bayou a little bit, you got Spencer Rattler. He's a first-year starter, South Carolina Gamecock. JP Huffy sitting on the bus with us. What are you seeing out of Kellen Moore as his first time being a head coach at the Saints? Spencer Rattler seems like he has a lot of success. Then he throws like 2 or 3 picks in a game, and they're kind of like finding their identity on offense. What are you seeing from the New Orleans Saints right now?
Yeah, look, I think Spencer Rattler has a lot of unique traits. I think he throws the ball extremely well. I think he has the ability to improvise, to problem solve. He's taken off and run and made some exceptional plays with his legs this year. So from that perspective, he has all those traits. I think he's got a little moxie to him. Look, I've always liked Kellen Moore's systems wherever he's been. Been a lot of places, has had to put together offenses for a lot of quarterbacks. And I think that's what he's been really good at, is putting together offenses that fit the strengths of the QBs and the personnel around him. I know it's tough as you sit here because you're like, they're not a 1-16. They certainly don't look like a 1-16
Right.
when you watch them. They've been in most of their games. Like most of their games have come down to a final drive where they had a chance to win, tie, certainly extend the game and find a way to win. Look, on the flip side, you look at the Tampa Bay Bucks, they've found ways to win. Unfortunately, the Saints just haven't, right? And their records reflect that. But I think they're building something there. They've got a ton of pieces on offense. They've got one of the better O-lines in football. Defensively, they've got a great core group of guys. Given up too many big plays the last couple of weeks. But otherwise, they have all the pieces, So I think you just kind of scratch your head. They just haven't found ways to win some of these close ones.
If somebody called you right now, if Kelmore called you, he's like, I need one game out of you to show these young bucks what's what. Do you think with your competitive drive and we'll give you 3 weeks to train, could you go in and be competitive in an NFL football game today?
Well, now look, I would know where to throw it. I just don't know if I could get it there.
Be like, hey, get the old
As I turn on the tape, I know where it's supposed to go.
Right.
Now that's one lingering effect from the shoulder surgery back 20 years ago. Now was Dr. Andrews said, hey, you're going to be on the fast track now for a degenerative shoulder. And, at some point, this thing's going to kind of take a steep dive. And unfortunately, I think I'm at that point. Like, I don't throw with my right arm anymore. I actually throw left-handed. I kind of started doing that towards the end of my career just with my kids because I'd come home after a long day of practice and I didn't have anything left in the right arm but the boys want to play catch. So
got to find a way.
I throw left-handed. I'm pretty mean inside of 30 with this left arm.
That's pretty fucking good,
dude. You bring up a unique point though that a lot of players don't think about while they're playing is the wear and tear that's taking place in their body. Now that you've been out of the league for a few years now, and okay, my shoulder, I was told it's going to be on a fast track. What kind of things are you doing to kind of keep your body ahead of the chains so you don't kind of go downhill, not just a shoulder, but from a body standpoint?
Yeah, no, great question. Look, I still love, I just love athletics and I love to be active. So, man, I play a bunch of racket sports. Like I play a bunch of padel, pickle. I like to mountain bike. I like to, get in the water and do stand-up paddle or surf. Of course, just all the stuff that I do with my kids, athletically. And then look, I like to train. I like to lift heavy weights at least twice a week, especially lower body. Like once you're a rotational athlete, like I never want to lose, like you think about what you lose with the aging process, you lose the ability to go fast. You lose the ability to recover. And then you just lose the ability to do it, day after day, right? Unless you stay on top of. So like flexibility is important. So like yoga, Pilates, all those things to make sure that I'm staying like pliable. I still get body work. And I sauna, cold tub, like religiously. And then honestly, just the staying strong. Like I want to feel like, especially part of this is maybe motivation because my boys are getting older and like they walk in the kitchen, they try to size you up. It's
right.
Like, don't walk up on me, boy. You don't got
the throwing.
You got to keep pace, man. It's something that they're always eyeing you, man. Like, so, so I feel like that's what motivates me, but I just want to be able to do all the things that I want to do for as long as I possibly can. I used to use the term at the end of my career, prolong my prime. I was always trying to prolong my prime with everything I was doing. So, man, from a training, recovery, all that stuff, it's almost like I'm still playing from that perspective. I still have that same mentality.
I love that. All right, time to eliminate some friends. Time to break some hearts. Best offensive weapon that you've ever had. You got to play with LaDainian Tomlinson, Jimmy Graham, Alvin Kamara, Darren Sproles, Michael Thomas. You got to play with a lot of specimens.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite offensive weapon you've ever played with?
I'll be honest with you, man. I might say Darren Sproles.
Oh, okay. Why these Sproles?
Would you want to cover Sproles out of the backfield?
No. When he was in Philly and I would have him out in the flat when I was on the Redskins and he wouldn't catch the ball, I'd be like, hey, I'm really glad Sam Bradford did not throw you this ball out here. We pat each other on the helmet and jog back to the huddle.
You know what? Like you can have such a great defensive scheme, right? you can have such a great pressure or, pass rush stunt or bracket coverage or whatever, on tight ends, receivers. But like that running back out of the backfield can ruin your day as a defense and as a defensive coordinator. So talking to our own defensive coordinators when we had Sproles, and then just watching, his career and obviously what I know about him, he was just such a weapon, and a matchup problem. And like we could find ways to beat you in so many different ways with him. The other thing too was he didn't get enough credit as a runner. Yeah, no, he was not a big guy. I mean, he was 5'7", 180 pounds maybe. But here's the other thing, Will, like hard to see him when he's behind linemen, right?
Yeah.
Like in the zone game. So like he was slippery. And man, the minute that he like one cut, found his lane, boy, he was gone. Right. And then good luck open field tackling him. Right.
Yeah.
So like for all those reasons, he was a weapon that I call him a generational player. Like truly, if you know how to use him, and as durable as he was, and I didn't even talk about the special teams game. Like him returning punts, he's one of the best punt returners, probably top 3, top 5 of all time. Yeah. So yeah, he was special.
And I think too, it's like people don't understand, like especially when you get in the red zone and that halfback option comes alive. You got to do like one or two things. Like as a coordinator, you're thinking, hey, Will, or any linebacker, it's like take away the space, stay inside. But everybody knows this running back's going to win 9 times out of 10. So what do you got to do to kind of help with that out? You're going to have to give like a BAM call to your edge rusher. So you're kind of taking the edge rusher out of pressure. So if you're aligning him to, hey, let's put him on the side where the best pass rusher is, and the backer back there's got to give him a BAM call. He's giving a BAM call. Pass rusher's mad he doesn't get to rush the passer. You're kind of arguing on the side. I say, bro, I'm not going to be able to cover any linebacker. You're not able to cover this dude, and you're going to get, because they want to bracket, take away the stars everywhere else, but it's the fucking running back out of the backfield that's honestly the problem. Because you're not lined up. You're not on the line of scrimmage to where if you're pressing or you're playing at, say, 5 yards, it's not like the fundamental coverage of a receiver. This dude's coming out of the backfield who can stem you before he even gets to where he's actually going to make his cut, which makes it insanely harder. Coordinators will try to put a safety down. Okay, let's get Willie Boy out of the game, or let's get this backer who probably can't cover out of the game. You'll put a safety in. And they show you still 10 times out of 10, it's just not going to happen because it's not a routine coverage snap. It blows my mind, and it'll always piss me off.
Drew, you can tell that Will he's telling us with so much like fortitude. He's just so like aggressive the way he's talking.
No, but that was the part that I forgot. Like just from a pass rush perspective, he is exactly right. Like whenever Sproles would line up in the backfield to that weak side, like all of a sudden that backer in a heartbeat is giving that call to the end to try to chip him on the way out, right? And that affects the pass rush, right?
But Drew,
so
you know that Thursday, Friday, when they're going over red zone with Will, they're like, hey, you got Sproles this week. Keep it inside. And Will's like, I got him, coach. No problem.
I'm looking at
this motherfucker's got to make me do this.
I'm looking at coach saying, no, I'm bamming him.
You say that?
Oh, yeah. I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, I'm bamming you. Like, this is what, if I get, say, trips for our gun, or I identify where I'm going to get got. Yeah. Right? Because not all the time, just if the back's offset. But if I know I'm in this situation and I know this is what's coming, I'm fucking bamming you, bro. Like, you're going to hit that dude. Stop rushing the passer.
Here's the other Sproles story, and this kind of just rounds out the total package. So we're playing the Niners back when they had that legit defense. This is like 2013.
Oh, yeah, P. Willis.
When we have the chance to go down and beat them in the end. So, right, like we're on a 2-minute drive, and man, Sproles is killing them out of the backfield, this and that. And then there's this one moment where we call a pass play that's a man beater, and sure enough, here's Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, boy, hitting these A gaps, right? And Sprole's in the backfield, and I remember, like right before the play, I said, "Hey, bro, I'm not going to do this to you often, but you just got to bow up on this dude right now, right? Like you got to step up and you got to handle this guy so we can deliver this ball down the field in man coverage and go kick a field goal to win this game." And dude, he steps up, and those dudes were. Willis and Bowman.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
two of the best, one of the best tandems of all time.
Right? That's who everybody was watching. And Sproles comes up and just bow right in the chest of Bowman. and just holds him off for long enough, right? So that we can deliver the ball down the field in man coverage like Jimmy Graham, get in field goal range, kick this game winner. But again, like that's the other part of being like a back that goes probably unappreciated. You talk a lot about what they can do out of the backfield. You talk about the run game, but at times they got to step up and deliver a blow on a guy and allow you to get the ball down the field in a big situation. And Sposey was always willing to do that at 5'7", $180 against some of these.
I love that
250-pound dogs.
Yeah, I love that. Bud Light question?
Yeah, let's
get
hit
him
it.
out of here. All right, Drew. We all know everyone would do anything for an ice cold, crisp Bud Light. If you could have a Bud Light with anybody in the world, past or present, who would it be?
Oh wow, that's a good one. Man, I'm going to say it's just the first name that came to mind. I'm going to say Roger Staubach.
Roger Staubach. Why him?
Yeah, we were at the Cowboys Commanders game yesterday. It was my son's birthday, and his godfather is Brian Schottenheimer. So we were there watching the Cowboys play, and I remember seeing Staubach before the game, and I was just thinking, man, like. One of the all-time greats, one of the all-time legends. There's actually a great story how I sang the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at Wrigley Field with Roger Staubach back when I was in college. That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's one of my all-time favorites and Cowboy legend, and I just saw him yesterday, so that was the first name that came to mind.
I love it. Hey, we appreciate it, Drew. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing all those stories. You're an absolute legend, Hall of Famer, all the fun stuff. What's up?
We got to get him here.
Oh, yeah. The boys in the back, they're saying we got to get Drew on the bus.
They're out over here just pointing at the chair on the bus. We'd love to have you on the bus one day, but thank you for your time, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Just give a round of applause for Drew. Appreciate you, Drew.
Love you, Drew. All right, guys.
Love you. Have a good one, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, that was fun. Why what?
Why'd you throw a hospital ball to the out? That sounded like it went awesome.
Dude, it was fun.
It was good.
Were you guys able to hear some of it? Yeah. Dude, he was fun. That was definitely one where I'm checking the time. I'm like, we're only going to have time for a few more, but like stories like that, you'd love to get into. Or just his speeches, his leadership.
Because you love to talk about, like, he's like a Peyton Manning type, right? Where he would just lose it on players at practice and like send them to the sideline.
That's the thing too. Like him and Sean Payton, they were the first. That was the first time I experienced where. What's up,
Mike? Mike.
So is this gonna be still in the pot, or are we gonna cut this part?
Oh, sorry.
It
could be in the pot if you feel like this is awesome. Yeah. What I was saying too, where was I at? Help me out.
You were talking about Sean. First time you experienced Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Oh, talking about his intensity and everything else. Like that was when I was on the Saints. That was kind of the first organization to where Sean Payton would stop practice at any point of practice if something came up. Like not just like he had this plan, but if a moment came up or say an incompletion or something happens, he's like thinking something in his mind of a situation this could be in, and they all stop it. Or Drew would have one. Everybody'd stop practice, and we would all come up as a team, and he'd be breaking down the situation. So that's what I get fascinated, because you also see clips too of Drew Brees and Sean Payton sitting there the night before a game, like up late, going through every type of situational football. And I'm thinking of that type of schooling that Bo Nix is getting, and it probably will, even though he's had so many starts, the difference in college and pros and everything else, to where he's still very much immersed in this like school of Sean Payton, to where he's got the factor of wanting to learn it, but as he continues to like digest it, he'll like just continue to get better because of how intense and situational I feel like Coach Payton is.
Yeah, and like you could see Bo Nix taking that next step, because you're right. Like college and NFL are completely different sports, so there is going to take some time, even though Bo Nix played 60 games or however many it was. But you see it in that last drive after Jackson Dart has that run in for the touchdown, the way he is working the sidelines and with time in the middle of the field. He's from a situational football standpoint, he's figuring it out quickly,
right?
Because they know exactly the yard line they have to get to. You don't have like the red line on the screen that all of us are watching. They know like, hey, our kicker is great, best from this area, from this hash. He's working it. It's very impressive to see.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. You're talking about like Sean Payton sitting there. He sees a situation at practice. Like, let's break this down for everybody so they know the situation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just good coaching. get you juiced up. I can't
Like when you're
imagine.
in those situations where there's like there's no timeouts left. You're in a double wall situation to where you're forcing them to throw the ball to the inside. They might gain yardage, but they're trying to maybe gain yardage and kick a field goal to
Right.
where it's like however much time is left on the clock, let's call it anywhere between like 12 and 16 seconds, to where it's like it's a per second margin on, hey, this isn't good to call double wall yet, or we're all going to, the call's going to be double wall, to where in college, the coaching staff might know this and the players don't, but in the NFL, like, everybody has to know and understand what's going on, to where they're quizzing you throughout the week and everything else. Hey, this situation happens. It's very specific, very particular. We're not going to be able to rep it in the game. We might run it one time and walk through every other week just to stay refreshed on it. But it's like, it's those situations where all players have to understand the situational awareness of the NFL.
And you could tell the Giants were doing that in that last drive, because at the one where Bo Nix throws it to the middle of the field, what ends up getting them into field goal range, there's two wide receivers that are running similar routes where it seems like, oh, there might have been an MA.
Yeah, like Cortland. Maybe he's throwing it to Cortland Sutton. But
right, and it kind of goes past him. But in that situation, if you're Dable, you're the Giants coach, you need to be telling these guys on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, if we're in this position where I'm making them throw to the middle of the field and we're in that 12 to 16 second mark, one guy makes a tackle, let's get 2 or 3 guys on top of him as well.
Right. Don't get a penalty, but
don't
lay on him a little longer.
But lay on him, let it drag out where they have to kind of push you off, because they kicked that ball with 2 seconds left on the clock? And what's that? They spiked it, right. And so they might not be able to put themselves in the position to spike it if you have not just one guy on there, but 1, 2, 3 guys, where it's like, we got to get this guy off. That's just little things you can do when the seconds matter more than anything else, and you're forcing the quarterback to throw it to the middle of the field.
Right. I want to say there was a situation like that in college. Did somebody on here post a clip of, like, somebody catching the ball, he's on the ground, and everybody's kind of like laying on him or diving on him?
That was me that posted that. And honestly, it was taking a little bit. Everybody was saying I was getting upset with the refs. Really, I was mad at our play call. But it was before the half. We run a play. We're trying to hurry up and clock it. And their players were laying on top of us blatantly.
That was one where it's like, that's a little. That's what your coach that's where you probably will see a flag, because you got to kind of, if you get the tackle, make sure you're on top and just take your time getting up. But it did seem like a few players were,
they were just like shoving him down and then walking off. Like,
right.
We're just getting
that is a penalty.
That is
should have been.
That should absolutely be a penalty. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff that just
kind of detail
changes one little thing. Because if you watch that Giants Broncos game, like, Giants owned that entire game. Had it, and then Jackson Dart throws a bad pick late in the fourth quarter that lets them come back. I don't know what the exact score was.
Wasn't it
but
that many points too within like the last 6 minutes?
Yeah, there were 3 lead changes in the last 6 minutes of the game.
Touchdown, field goal.
Going into the fourth quarter, Bo Nix had like 11 fantasy points, and then he finished with 39.
Yeah. Because I have him in my other league, still lost. But when I saw him still have 30 something, because I'm like checking, I'm checking the game through fantasy, and I did see him have he didn't have very many points. Like, well, Bo Nix, like, Giants, they must be the real deal. And then when I got home in time to watch the end of that game, and they're like 4 total touchdowns. I got there right when he was running that like QB design run when they scored to go up. And then Jackson, they go down, couple calls, like that PI call was a little, I thought, suspect that they called on Riley Moss.
Yeah,
an exciting game.
Exciting game. We want to save that. I know we got Zack Baun coming on soon.
Right. Yeah. So let's temper it. Let's get to Zack Baun.
All right, guys, we interrupt this episode to shout out our sponsors. We are brought to you by Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Have you tried Neutral? If not, you're missing out. Neutral is so much better than any seltzer that I've tried. It's made with real vodka and real juice, and that's what makes it delicious. Neutral comes in a variety of flavors like orange, watermelon, black cherry. They also have new flavors, lime and strawberry. They're perfect for social occasions. They are an absolute crowd pleaser, especially during college football season and NFL season. Whether you're at a bar watching the game, in the backyard with friends, at a tailgate, doesn't matter the occasion, bring some Neutral. Neutral, keep it tasty. Dude Wipes. We are also brought to you by Dude Wipes. Are you fumbling the ball when it comes to getting confident, clean back in your end zone? Make the right play, call an audible, and switch from dry toilet paper to wet extra large Dude Wipes. Why? It's simple. Wetter just cleans better. It does. Dude Wipes are wet and extra large, so they clear, never smear your rear. So when you got to go number 2, be sure to bring the number 1 product in clean. Dude Wipes, the GOAT of cleaning your keister. Available on Amazon and at Walmart nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down. we are also brought to you by Blue Diamond, the snack, the nut of the Big Ten and Bussin' With The Boys. Blue Diamond almonds are the super nut that hits you with that little protein punch to keep you going. Available in 20 plus flavors like honey roasted, wasabi and soy sauce, and smokehouse. And this football season, you could win a $10,000 grand prize or hundreds of other instant win prizes with Blue Diamond. All you got to do, go to visit bdsweeps.com for a chance to win. No purchase necessary. Ends November 30th, 2025 and opened to 50 U.S. states and D.C. 18 plus. For rules, visit bdsweeps.com. Void where prohibited. Blue Diamond Almonds, the official snack of Big Ten football and football fans everywhere. We were just talking about nuts. Let's also talk about Rose Sparks. Rose Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a secret weapon against softness. Rose Sparks can give guys bigger, thicker, longer erections because they get fuller faster. After Rose Sparks dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average, and if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at rode.co/bussin to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/bussin for $15 off your first order. Back to the episode. We hope that you are enjoying it. Welcome, Zack Baun. Welcome to Bussin' With The Boys, bro.
Buddy, first off, I know we got a lot of football to get into, but that house, man, something about Forest Green for me really sets the tone. Did you build this house yourself? Do you paint it yourself? What's going on?
Did not build it, but we did have it painted. Yes.
Nice. Everybody's got to paint their house.
Everybody's got to paint their house.
This is that front sitting room that you never use.
Yeah,
that's what I'm in right now.
Yeah, get it in. That's dialed up, man. Bro. First off, congrats on the big win.
Thank you.
Yeah, needed that one. GBOT.
Bro, so
Tough
stoked
one
to have you. I think you are phenomenal. I think it's super impressive that you're somebody that's been able to move from the outside to the inside. I do have to ask, Cam Skattebo.
Ooh.
I was like, not my dog, ZB.
That's one of those guys you watch on film and you're like, dang, he runs hard. But you don't really know until you feel it yourself. So I'm glad we got him this week.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
And he caught you kind of sideways too. If I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, I know you can run, I know you can hit, but he kind of had you sideways. And just watching from the side angle, seeing you go a couple years, oh shit, that one ain't.
Yeah, that was a run across the field and get my ass smacked type play right there.
Yeah. Listen, we all got.
I got to the sideline. I'm like, hey, did it look bad? That's one of those.
That's one of those where you're watching next week in position meetings too. Like, you guys had a tough loss, but just sitting there or a defensive meeting or a position meeting, you're just like, all right, go ahead, skip through this one.
Yeah. You get to that play and you just put your head down, hoping we just skip over. A couple of your buddies looking over you in the corner like, God damn, that happened to you?
Yeah.
But hey,
yeah.
What has the energy been like in that building? You guys obviously had a big week this week. Jalen Hurts throws for 1 billion yards. Everyone's been saying you guys can't throw the ball. Everyone's like, hey, this is the best put together team, but we're lacking on deep. There's been so much noise on the outside revolving around the Philadelphia Eagles. What has it been like in the building for you guys, keeping the main thing?
Yeah, I think the noise in the media is a lot louder than the noise in the locker room. Like we get to the locker room and it's like, what's the big fuss? Like, we're winning games for the most part. We're winning games, and we're doing an overall good job. So I think it's all blown out of proportion, and just keeping the main thing is the biggest thing. Winning games.
A couple weeks ago when it was the Giants, and just from your vantage point, watching it happen, the 4 tush pushes in a row. To go in and score, knowing it was like, was it 4th and short or 3rd and short? It's like, okay, we're gonna get 2 opportunities at these. You get it. You're on the 1 yard line. You continue to just do the tush push. I know watching it on TV, I'm sitting there. These dudes are really doing 4 tush pushes in a row.
Yeah. Usually I'm the guy that's like, yep, run it again. But after the 3rd time, I'm like, all right. We got to try something different.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it works. And if you run a play that works, why not keep running it?
Yeah. You got the Giants' second time in 3 weeks this week. What are some things? 'Cause you can go and watch the film, but from you as a player being on that field when you guys played them on Thursday Night Football, what are the things that they did so well that made it difficult for you guys on defense?
Yeah, I think just the theme this year has been like, as defending champions, like we're going to get everyone's best shot. Everyone's going to come at us like with their best game, like their best game plan, the physicality, their intensity, and that's what it was that game. So just combating that and coming with some swag at home.
What was the taste? Like, obviously it was a bad taste, but is this a game now? You beat the Vikings, which was a massive win for you guys, especially again with all the noise. Offensively, the question marks, even defensively, you guys haven't played your best football. I know you guys have had injuries, but once that game was over against the Vikings, is there like a salivation going on getting the Giants again this quickly after the loss?
Yeah, it's very rare that you play a team 2 times like that close. Sometimes it'll be like one at the beginning of the season and then one at the end. But to get them this close it's kind of weird, to be honest. But good for us because we lost and we get to get our lick back. But yeah, just got to get after it, honestly.
Because like after New York wins that game in the fashion that they did do it, it's like you got all the bulletin board material in the world to be like licking your chops for this game. You got the creatine Caucasians, Jackson Dart, Cam Skattebo. They're like Skattebo's out there posing shirtless, like he's going viral for headbutting walls and shit. Gets the hit on Zack Baun. I know you're gonna be pissed off, brother. Ready to go.
Come on, man. We gotta get our lick back. We're too competitive in this game to just lay down and take it like that.
Buddy, I want to talk to you real quick about you signing a 1-year deal for $3.5 million with the Eagles. You're a prove-it deal, and you became an all-pro in that. For all the players watching who sit there and they've been in the situation where they know they can be this caliber of player and they have to go into a prove-it deal, like what is the mindset, what is the takeover for you to go not only become an all-pro guy, but be wearing the green dot for an elite defense who wins the Super Bowl and then eventually getting what was this? The number was too big for the piece of paper, a 3-year, $51 million contract extension after that. Like, had to be a lot of ups and downs and thought process when you're leaving the Saints going to the Eagles. And that year, the offseason, what was that like for you?
As an inside backer too.
Yeah. Leaving the Saints, I had like 2 paths I could have gone down. I could have like stuck with being a special teams guy and played my role and done a good job at that and played a long time, made some money. But there was something in me that was like, man, I know I can play. I know I can play, whether it's inside or outside. And I talked with my agent, my wife, my family, and they're like, give it another shot. Like, don't give up on yourself just yet. And I didn't know what position I was going to play coming to the Eagles until I'm at the front door meeting the inside linebacker coach's hand. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm inside. Let's figure this out. And we had a lot of new guys and the culture here is so good. So I just jumped right in and started winning games and playing well.
Absolute specimen. Being a special teams demon because you can run. I'm sitting here looking right now. What am I seeing here? Holds his high school 200-meter record, ran a 21.5 at 220 pounds. Like, are you somebody who's sitting there talking shit with the boys on teams when they're talking about who the fastest guy is?
They never throw me in that conversation, but I always need to get my respect. Like, I'm fast too.
Bro, you can fly. You can fly. I also see that you played quarterback in high school, threw for about 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, I played quarterback, but I was really just like small town athlete, get it in his hands every time I was running the ball. I would drop back knowing I'm about to take off and run. So it was a lot of rushing touchdowns.
We got to work on him just talking shit like, yeah, I was that dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I was small town. I was a bit of
you know what he is?
Like
he thinks he's talking to the real media right now, as if we're going to do anything about it. Zack Baun, over-arrogant linebacker, thought he was the man in high school. Bro, if you're a cat, I'm assuming you went both ways on the football field, and you're playing quarterback, dropping back, and it's like, yeah, y'all know I'm going to run, but I'm still going to go off on you guys no matter what.
Yeah, there was some confidence there for sure.
Yeah. All right. We got a little something there.
He had the chin strap unbuckled, feeling like Michael Vick at times.
Yeah.
What kid didn't do that?
Mouth guard hanging out. Yeah, that was me.
What's your thought process when you look at the Big Ten and you see the state of your alma mater, the Wisconsin Badgers, right now? I hate doing this.
Ooh.
But it's tough for Luke Fickell and the boys, man. What's going on there?
I couldn't tell you, man. It's when you think. Let me ask you: when you think of Wisconsin football, what do you think?
I think about run game, offensive linemen that all could be in the NFL. Just 3 yards in a cloud of dust until a 60, 40, 50 happens.
And I'm thinking linebackers, your guys' defensive front seven.
Yeah. You're thinking 13 personnel, 21, 22, extra linemen, corn-fed Wisconsin farm boys.
Yeah, the size of the Packers.
Yeah, when you watch them now, that's not what I'm seeing. So I don't know. I don't want to. I'll keep my comments to myself, but we need to win some games.
You don't have to say anything. I just know for me, like, I was fired up for the Fickle hire. I thought he was one of the best head coaches when he left Cincinnati. So I'm sitting here completely surprised that he hasn't been able to get Wisconsin going, because you guys have been good. I mean, you guys whooped our ass, but you guys have been good for a long time. I feel like running the ball, playing defense. I feel like Fickle, like I don't know a whole lot about him other than how he did in Cincinnati, and I know he's like him and Vrabel they're best friends.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna bring this chip on shoulder mentality, like this swagger, this no nonsense, all hard work, everything else to Wisconsin. So I'm shocked. I'm sure like everybody else is, just that Fickle hasn't worked out there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Part of me was like giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, he's got to get his guys in here to like, if we're going to switch the system and switch what we do, like we need different players. We can't have these big old linemen running the spread offense. So maybe just give it some time to develop and get some different guys in there.
Mm-hmm. Exciting Whites. You get to play with them on every single down. They took the world by storm last year. They ended up starting their own podcast. Talk to me about what Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship are on the field. How are these guys? Are they big communicators? Like, are these two dudes just let them go play? I want to know about their play style, what kind of camaraderie we have in the locker room.
Yeah, I'll start with Reed. Reed's the biggest communicator at the safety spot. He like demands the coverage aspect of our defense, and a really good player. He knows what's going on. He knows what's coming. And then Coop is just a dog, like a do-it-all. He's strong in the run game, coming up, making tackles, can cover. Hey, the Exciting Whites are doing their thing.
They are too. You pop on the film.
They are doing their
flying
thing.
around.
We're putting together a good football team at the end of this year.
Hey, what team am I on?
I personally, I'd love to claim you. I'd love to claim you and say Zack Baun will be our green dot on defense. Listen, if you weren't asking me and I broke this down myself in December, you'll be on the team. And then from there, it's what happens whenever, guys kind of see it. They're thinking, I'm not on the all-white team. I want to say, who's the safety for the Ravens? Who?
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton. I claimed him a couple years ago, but they were kind of breaking down the footage, and he said on a plane right after the game that he was a part of the all-white team. And I'm like, hey, buddy, we got you. Like, he went to Notre Dame.
Right.
We get to kind of have him for a year. So it's more of like, I'll put the ball in your court. I tell you what, we love to have you. I'm talking, we'll roll the red carpet out for your recruiting visit. There might be a lot more ego and guys trying to figure out who's going to be playing on the roster. I can guarantee you a starting spot right now on the all-white squad. You want to have it. You'll be there. You got half the secondary already.
You got to set your parameters on, like, what are you doing with the mixed guys?
Yeah, it's usually if they say the word or not. They walk around, they're saying the word. It's kind of the language barrier a little bit. That's kind of my parameters, and I'm like, hey, he seems like a type of guy who's going to be on the all-white squad this year.
Are you? So you bringing this up? Are you saying, hey, Will Compton, I would like to be on the all-white team this year? I'd like to make that squad.
It's you guys are the head coaches, I guess.
Yeah, trust me. We got you because I already got the
dishing and dealing.
I already got the pitch for you. You got Reed. You got Cooper DeJean. Mm-hmm. Riley Moss is out there in Denver, super familiar with Cooper DeJean. You guys are communicating on the back end as well as any unit in the country. So, listen, we would thrive. We would thrive with you on the all-white team. Hey, what's this? I want you to school me up here. What is this? What is this RuneScape I'm hearing about? RuneScape. Oh. What is this RuneScape I'm hearing about? You did a shout out for the Eagles. Their social post that's going viral.
Yeah.
You played it big time as a kid.
RuneScape's an old game that I used to play as a kid. I think it came out like early 2000s, like retro, kind of like a World of Warcraft type game that I just found out they have on mobile now. So I hopped back on and really been enjoying it.
Did you ever play?
Have you guys played?
No. You could tell by Will's pronunciation of the game he hasn't played the game.
Yeah,
but I also have not played the game. You bring up World of Warcraft. Are you familiar at all with Diablo?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Well,
Ask him about
Diablo.
that. Ask him about that dinosaur one.
Oh, Ark. Are you familiar with the game Ark?
I've heard of Ark.
Bro.
I played for probably 20 minutes and I didn't like it. So
Yeah, that's fair, because when you start, you're basically in survival mode for the first 50 levels before you can essentially sustain a life with these prehistoric animals. It's very difficult to do. But I've found myself in a very weird world with Ark. One of my wife's best friends met a guy on Ark. They are now married in Canada. It's a long story. You have too much. You don't have enough time
We
for
can
it.
talk some Ark. My problem with Ark is just that you could build up all these levels, but if some crew comes in and takes you over, you're starting from ground zero.
Right. That's why you need this guy.
Yeah, when you turn the game off, like you're still like sleeping. You're alive.
Right. You have to like essentially go to bed in the game at any point, and it's always, I'm not going to say the ethnicity that gets you, but there's one ethnicity that always comes and gets your ass while you're gone, and they leave you notes.
Chill.
I know you're right. But my buddy, my wife's friend, she got married to a guy named Joe, who's like got to be top 50 player in the world. And we meet him via online, and now we're like riding around in jetpacks. Like we're living good. We're living cush out there in the Ark world. You got to come back and revisit for a second.
I love back in like the Old Testament days. You're marrying for like supreme protection.
Yeah,
and she married into somebody who's a top 50 player in the world.
That's exactly what she's doing right now. Talk to me about Vic Fangio. What kind of DC are we? Is he like a player's coach type of guy? Is he a hard-nosed cat? He's got a good personality on him. Like, break him down for.
Is he like, he could be in a bad mood today? Yeah. Let's not jab him a whole lot.
Yeah.
No, he's kind of a player's coach and like a hard-nosed guy. He wants everyone to succeed and do their best, but at the same time, he's like going to get on you to do it. But it's direct and indirect at the same time. Like he'll drill into guys, but then he'll also like throw a little shade or jabs. It's all accountability is what it comes down to.
Somebody I'm absolutely terrified by is Jalen Carter.
Yep.
Is anybody saying a word to him after the Dallas Cowboys game from week 1 when when the whole spit thing happened? Or is that kind of like he probably knows we're gonna let the old boy be?
He knew what he did. He knew immediately that what he did was wrong. But yeah, we went up and talked to him like, you can't be doing that, obviously. But there was a time last year, and I'm new, so I don't really know JC. It's probably game 3 or 4. He does what he does and swims out of his gap to make a play. I get it. But in the moment, I'm like, you got to be in your gap. Like, come on. And he's like, don't tell me how to play football, bruh. And I'm like, hey, go ahead. Hey, I'll make you right.
Yeah. You know what, JC, you're absolutely right. I should have been in your gap in that situation. I saw what you were doing there.
ZB's trying to do some like leadership stuff. Like, hey, come on. Hey, I need you in this gap. When you do that, this is how it hurts the back end. Man, shut up. Don't teach me how to play football. Hey, big dog.
That's on me.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know what? I'll do it.
Really, really good dude, though. Really good dude. Solid dude. Great football
player. No doubt.
Too.
Sounds like a terrifying dude, but a solid dude nonetheless. Like, this is a guy you don't want to be
on our team.
Yes.
That's the guy, 100%.
He's like, really good dude. Yeah, as long as he's got my back.
Right.
As long as he's got my back.
I picture like Zack Baun and like 5 other guys that weigh over 280 walking up to JC being like, you understand, like, we probably shouldn't spit on guys, right? And just kind of like waiting to see how he handles it.
Or like when they're walking up to him like, hey, so ZB, are you going to say the first? Like, are you going to start the conversation? Then I'll come in.
Yeah. And then ZB walks up. He's like, hey, man, Lane wanted to tell you something real quick. I just wanted to let you know. And then just put Lane Johnson under the bus. Like, hey, you got to handle this.
The funniest thing is on punt safe when we leave our defense out there, just going up to the right guard and be like, hey, JC, fuck his ass up.
And that poor bastard's buckling his just up a little bit tighter.
I'm sitting there at right guard and I'm just hearing that. And I'm just like, hey, big dog, like, we can.
This is punt safe.
Yeah.
This is punt safe. And I promise you, we are not running a
we're not running a fake. I'm not trying to block you.
I swear to God. Dude, one guy that brought up JC and like hey, you got this guy, awesome guy, but definitely you don't want to get on his bad side. Big Dom was talking about him when we were at camp. You don't seem like the guy that Big Dom has to deal with all of the time, but how crucial is Big Dom to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Big Dom is huge. He's got all the little insights on everyone. He knows what everyone around the building is doing, who they're talking to, who they're hanging out with. He's intertwined not only with the Eagles, but like the whole city. He's in there.
He's connected. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Sopranos.
He might be. Not confirmed.
Not confirmed. This is exactly how he wants it. He wants us guessing.
It's one of those, I feel like Big Dom's like the noise could be super loud around the Eagles. The locker room, it's like it's louder than it is in the locker room. But if you want to know something, you just go up like, hey, Big Dom, do we have this? Is everything kind of figured out with so-and-so or between these guys? And just give you kind of like a nod. Yeah, we got it taken care of.
Yeah, Dom's always a guy that's going to be like, yeah, I'm handling it. I'm handling it, no problem.
Should we do a Bud Light question?
Yeah, let's do Bud Light question.
All right, Zach. People would do anything for an ice cold Bud Light.
No doubt.
Having a Bud Light with somebody, who is somebody that you'd love to sit down and have an ice cold Bud Light with, whether it's past, present, somebody that you just love to have a few beers with, some conversations, some fun.
Could be anybody.
Anybody.
I'll keep it in the football world, and I'll say Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator for the Broncos.
Yeah?
No shit.
Great dude. Awesome dude. He was my coordinator with the Saints.
Yeah.
I would definitely have more than one Bud Light with him.
Dude, he always had the vibes high. When I was, again, there for a cup of coffee, you go into the special teams meeting and you guys would have shirts going on for plays that get made, and everybody seemed to love this dude. And then when he was the interim head coach, what was it, a couple of years ago where he stepped in?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, last year. And out of the gate, I want to say the Saints, they ended up winning a couple games with him.
It always happens with the interim head coach, except for the Titans.
Just a great dude.
Especially when it's a special teams coordinator too.
So you two played together with the Saints.
I don't know, possibly.
I wasn't with you. I was like right after you.
Yeah,
because you were there in 2019.
2019 was when I was there in training camp for a moment. I was ready to light the world on fire, but I caught a little ankle sprain.
A little ankle sprain, had to get that little severance package. Had that thing dialed in real quick.
Alex Anzalone was down, and they had, I want to say maybe a couple like inside backers that were down. So I ended up getting brought in around the third preseason game, went into the fourth preseason game to get reps at like one base before we got ready for week one, because they needed a base Mike backer, essentially until Alex Anzalone's shoulder got right. And then
Gotcha.
I went down in that fourth preseason game, which sucked because the vibes of the Saints seemed awesome.
Yeah.
The locker room seemed all time. And Rizzi, who was talking about, like, guys, just everybody, like, that was a fun organization for the moment I was there. At practice was fun, everything.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got a little injury settlement. And then that's when they traded for Kiko Alonso. And then Alex Anzalone comes back nice with the Lions, like playing some good ball.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
that was the
it
moment.
seems like everyone that leaves the Saints is playing good ball right now.
All right.
Everyone that leaves the Saints has a C on their chest playing good football.
Yeah, and then the old guard, the captains like Cam Jordan and DeMario Davis, like they're still sticking around, and it's like, fuck, boys, we got to put some good ball together right now.
Two
like,
guys.
We got our teeth have been cut in this organization for too long.
No doubt about it.
Tough times down there.
Zach, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. This has been awesome. I can't wait for December when Will comes out with his all white, all black team. I'm assuming.
I don't do the other side. That's for everybody else.
Oh yeah, sorry, all white team. That's right.
Yeah,
I think the line right now, the futures line is minus 31.5.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think it's that deep at all. I promise you, we got a squad, and we get better each and every year. A new DB comes in the league.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think that's where you're light?
Always.
DB department?
Always.
I think, 1,000%. I mean, think of what other position group are we potentially light in? Like, we're deep along the trenches. We got second level players. We got tight end. We got guys like a wide receiver. Surprisingly, we got some good depth there. Yeah, Puka Nacua. Yeah. He hasn't said nothing over the last couple of years, so I've been able to claim him and get away with it.
That's that.
He's poly though.
That's that in between.
It's in between.
The polys are fair game.
I'm thinking poly. He was a 5th round guy.
Yeah.
So that's easy.
Grinder type of cat.
Grinder mentality.
Yeah. Ran a little slower 40. Like Just put the tape on. He's got game speed. That's when you know that's our guy. That's when you know that's our
And
guy.
all we got to do is just filter this episode just a little bit more because right now we got Zack Baun.
Yeah. And it's going to come out and people are like, Zach, how you feel about this? And it's up to you to be standing there. You're going to be on a plane on an away game.
I know.
And
Where I'm going.
JC's going to come up to you and be like, man, what's this about?
Dude, you got the bald head. You got a nice goatee going on. That screams. I got a Harley in the garage.
Right.
Hey,
We like to have fun. Hey, we like to have fun.
Is your hair growing back, Will?
I'll show
Where we
you.
at?
It's grown back pretty well. I do have kind of the M set, and it's a little lighter in the cul-de-sac here. You could land a plane on it if you wanted to. But we're coming back pretty strong right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like where my head's at.
Are you going to grow it out, or was that like a test to see if you had to shave it?
My wife really wants me to grow it out, but I'll be honest, I really don't mind the short hair life. Even the bald head, I didn't mind the bald head look. What'd you think? Like, you're a fellow bald guy. Like, would you love me repping the bald squad?
Absolutely. It's all about the head shape. Like, if you got a solid head shape, and facial hair, you can join.
So you think I pull off the head shape well?
I think it's solid. Once you get a little tan up top there, you'll be all right. Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key.
Yeah,
Get
that's
some
funny.
sunlight on it. Dude, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking time on a Monday. Good luck this week. Get your guys' revenge back. Get the mojo going again. In the off season, we would absolutely love to have you on the bus so we can do a little bit more long form. We're not in the middle of the season. You know, a couple things you gotta kind of, hey, we're having fun on the show, but also we're in the middle of the season.
Right.
But dude, we'd love to have you on in Nashville in the off season.
Yeah, I got to get down there.
Have to.
That'd be sick.
Appreciate
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
That's Zack Baun. Everybody give him a round of applause.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I love it. Appreciate you
bro.
coming on, man. It is a pain in the ass to do this during the
problem.
season, so it does mean a lot.
Yeah.
Is this the first virtual one you guys have done?
We've just started kind of doing virtuals. He's like the first player that we've had after a game virtual. Yeah. We've been trying to get like college coaches will hop on. We haven't gotten any NFL coaches yet, but we've kind of pivoted to where we're going to get some more virtual stuff just because people love talking football 24/7.
Yeah, this season, it's either football or nothing. If we put anything else out there other than football, people are like, get it out of here.
But yeah, you're the first player, so we appreciate you.
Yeah.
You guys are killing it, dude. I'm sorry I missed you during training camp.
Oh, you're good, man.
All good, dude.
You're good, man.
Big Dom
See you,
took
bro.
care of us. Appreciate you, man.
Peace.